Hey, it's the Bennington Show, starting off as we always do with Safety Dance. The reason for that was...
Men Without Hats, Montreal band.
Did not know that.
Montreal. They do the safety dance.
I had no idea. I always thought they were like English or Scottish.
Haven't you ever noticed that every time I'm in Montreal, I look at my hands?
Yeah, but I don't want to bring up why. By the way, I think for quite a few years I said everyone look at your pants, not at your hands, because it rhymed with dance. It's the Bennington Show. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yum.
I'm Ron Bennington. And we are on our way to Montreal. Now, you can follow along with our social media. And, of course, Gail always does her trip diary.
Yes, a photo journal, photo diary that I put up at the Interrobang. So you can follow along each day with photos of us and our buddies in Montreal and all the comics and the shows and
we have so many friends up there. Yeah, it's going to be crazy fun. Now, I'm going to give just like a little helpful hint. Don't do 60 pictures of the airport, and then we never see you again.
Okay.
Because it's always like, look at Chris and, at the airport. There they are on their plane.
Hey, everyone. We're going to Montreal.
Look who's drinking a bubble up, Chris.
Most of my pictures are Vito and Chris heavy.
Yeah, there's two.
I'm the one taking the pics.
Yeah. You take the pics.
You don't take the pics.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun being in Montreal. But yeah, Big J's doing his show up there. Ari's doing his show. Robert Kelly. And I just found out that Aaron Berg is doing the warm-ups for all the TV tapings.
Oh, that's great.
And he's a natural-born Canadian, now an American, but not trusted by myself or Intel. But yeah, the list just goes on and on and on of all the people.
We're all looking forward to it.
New Faces is up. That's the young kids that are going to become gigantic stars within 6 months. That's up on the iBang. It's going to be quite a bit of fun. What did I just see your picture on the iBang, Chris?
Yes, because there's a new episode of Big Brothers with special
Big Brothers
with special guests. Glenn Garcia.
Coming up in a little bit, Glenn Garcia. Glenn Garcia was the guy who got bumped out, I believe. And Vito, you can correct me on this. Is he the only person to get launched from the house in the history of Big Brother without being voted out?
Yes, he is.
He was out for what reason?
He lost the coconut challenge.
Damn it.
Goddamn coconuts.
Why didn't he practice with coconuts? We're freaks, baby.
We're freaks.
Yeah, he got off one big line that Chris remembered forever. Wow, TV and movie stars are outside.
Yes, they are. Kyle Mooney and Dave McCary, their film Brigsby Bear comes out in select theaters this Friday, July 28th.
I saw it. I thought it was adorable.
It's a really, really cute movie and very funny.
Funny, cute, sweet, heartwarming. All the tough stuff to pull out. So Kyle and Dave are coming in here.
Yes, they are.
All right, Brigsby Bear comes out select theaters this Friday, July 28th. Let's welcome Kyle Mooney and Dave McCary. I thought we'd watch a whole episode of Brigsby Bear and then get into breaking it down DVD style.
How did you get the full song?
That would be Chris. Chris, how'd you pull that off?
From the screener.
Ooh.
Oh, sneaky.
Ripping it as the kids do. The kids
Chris
rip
is
things.
killing it today.
It's at the very end.
A+.
The full version's at the very end of the credits that a lot of people don't get to really appreciate, which I'm glad that you got a chance to hear it all.
Loved it.
You guys,
Do you guys like each other?
Yeah, it could be fun.
What's happening?
You know, people could. He could be making a movie with Chris next year. We don't know. He's back in. Look, I met this guy Chris. I feel really strongly about him.
You should have heard what he did with this. Pulled the song off the screener. Everybody's talking about it.
We were saying before you got here, you pulled off like the toughest thing to do, I think, comedically, and that's have something that's kind of sweet and heartwarming and also funny. You know, it's a tough spot.
Well, I think that's because Kyle is sweet and heartwarming and also funny.
You're being awfully cute today.
No, we had some issues in the last interview, so I'm trying to make up for it.
No, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We honestly just tried to play everything as real and as earnestly as possible, and thought there was some inherent comedy there.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess along the way, it was also heartfelt.
Yeah, it was never a conscious choice to like, how can we show people the balance of these things that we want to go out. It was just like the script was so great that Kyle and our buddy Kevin wrote, and it was just play this scene to scene, play this in the way that it feels the most earnest. There's naturally some comedy in here, but we don't need to like reach for jokes. And let's just like try to, with this very surreal concept, let's try to find as much realism as possible, and if people stay on board, that's all we wanted. We just wanted to keep people engaged with the emotional journey, and then let the laughs come if they come. And if they didn't come, I don't know how important that was to you, Kyle, but for me it was like
I need it.
You gotta have it.
It never felt to me that was important as much as the sincerity.
Well, I would tell people this: go see the movie. Don't read reviews, because a lot of reviews tend to be summaries these days. I mean, the reviews are great if you need to look at the top number of Rotten Tomatoes. If you're one of those people, go ahead and do that. But I walked into it without knowing anything about it, and was like, "What the hell?" You know what I mean? Was it started? Then there's another turn, and then it kind of reminded me of like E.T. or Starman from the 80s, which I was like, oh, it's been a long time since we've had that kind of
with
feeling.
That innocence and sweetness and comedy. But then on top of all that, like that's always hard to pull off. But then also it's hard to pull off where you create a world that everyone buys into pretty quickly. Like you establish something that's pretty surreal, and then immediately go, okay, so this is a world that we're dealing with. Yeah. Like that exists within this realm. It was really, really cool.
Thank you.
Well, to go to your point about not knowing much about this film, I think with no filmmaker wants you to know before you go in about anything. I think specifically with fish out of water stories, where you are on a journey with one sole character, and you can kind of, as an audience member, just like put yourself directly in their shoes, and everything that they don't know about the world, you kind of don't know at that in that escape as a viewer as well. Right. And so we really liked the idea of our audience being so in the dark with the James character played by Kyle. And as he's discovering things about life, we're kind of discovering that with him. But if you know where it's headed, or if you're steps ahead of him, I think that the element of surprise gets lost. Hopefully the movie you can still enjoy regardless, but I would say that the best theatrical experience would be to not know anything.
I also think too, like one of my favorite parts of it, and particularly I would aim that at young people, is make stuff with your friends. You know what I mean? Like the entire thing in this country used to be get together, make a band. You know, you and your buddies will make a band. And then it was like an improv group. And now because of the internet, it gets more technical, but it's still the same premise, right? Yeah. Make stuff with your friends.
Absolutely.
But go. Sorry.
Go, please, Dave.
It just made me think of it. We've never talked about this, but it's interesting because I think there is another school of thought that is working with loved ones, friends, or in a relationship that can hurt friendship when you blur the lines of those boundaries, and sometimes a working relationship can bring out a different side of your friend where you're like, oh wait, I just want this side, so I think it is circumstantial.
Well, our movie doesn't touch upon that, and also we are not an example of that, because we have known each other since we were 10 years old. We're friends, and Kevin Costello, who co-wrote the movie with us, went to middle school with us.
I just want to be clear.
You just want to say that it's not always going to work out.
That the message is not just go work with your friends on anything, because I think that can backfire.
Right. But not when you're a kid. When you're a kid,
of course, just be creative with your buddies.
You should just be creative and not really even worry about how it's going to be perceived.
Okay,
Like, one of the things that the only downside of like YouTube is I see kids going for hits all the time, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Instead of try to make something really fun and cool that you and your neighborhood would dig.
We've noticed that over the years too, because we used to work at a YouTube production studio in LA prior to SNL, and there was kind of this weird culture of just put out content, and we never really embraced that because we didn't want to just throw out a new video constantly just to get a consistency, which in theory it sounds great to consistently have a new video every week or whatever, but we were always quality, or we would like to think we were trying to achieve quality over quantity. But now when people ask like, what would you give? I've been asked a number of times over this press tour of like what advice that we would give to young people who want to make videos, because our film is a lot about young people being creative and storytelling. And the advice is like, just do it, just make mistakes and put something out. But at the same time, at the time when we were making videos, I didn't want to just do that. So I'm a walking contradiction is what I'm saying.
But if you're doing it because you like it and like, here's a cool idea, this I like, rather than, I think that they start to try to brand too early now. Like, what's our brand? What is our thing? Just make some shit that you dig.
And also just like the passion, like that's what's really fun and funny about the main character of the movie is like when you have passion above talent, that's kind of more important. It kind of is like, I think maybe even a reoccurring thing that I see a lot of characters in the sketches you do on SNL where they're very earnest and they're very like passion first and foremost.
Yeah. I feel like the through line we've noticed is just, a lot of these these characters I tend to play are like kind of have a pseudo confidence. You know what I mean? They're very confident in themselves, but maybe at some point we reveal some universal truth about them that they aren't really willing to say out loud. But I mean, just on the last subject, I mean, I don't know, for those of you, I don't know who's listening, but Dave and I have made a career of like making internet videos together, and we started doing it in our 20s, and we did just do it to a degree. I mean, yes, certainly we sometimes I feel like we kind of together decided whether an idea was good enough or not. You know what I mean? I don't
like
feel
we would make a full video and edit it and like really sit back, look at it and be like, no, it's just, let's put it in the trash. It's not, but there's so many schools of thought of like, is it more important to just experience going through the process, finishing a product, putting it out, and dealing with the response if it's not good enough? In film, if we would have felt that way about this film, like, it's just not good enough, let's put it in that doesn't fly. It's got, something has to go out.
You got to put it out, and then you got to take the hit, and then you got to figure out what's next.
But if they allow you to do something next.
But to your point, the entire time we were thinking like, we're making this movie for us and our friends, and not trying to think about like the world at large and how they're going to perceive it, because it was a special movie to us, and there's a lot of thematic stuff in the movie that it mirrors how we've discovered our love for filmmaking together, and have been creative together as friends over the past couple decades. So it was very personal, and that's how everyone should be creating. They should put a lot of love into it and make it personal, and not just try to throw out topical trash in order to get hits. But people do that, and they make a living off of it, and that's just something that you as a viewer of this stuff just have to be conscious of, finding those artists that you can tell are putting love into their work.
Yeah, and you don't have to. I mean, a lot of kids like to go out and watch stuff that isn't mainstream. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of defines you too, by what you watch, what you intake. Is particularly when you're young, I think is like incredibly important. But if you even look at Brigsby Bear and that strange little show. We all had some show like that when we were kids. You know what I mean? And those people, I wonder if they ever know what that would mean, because it stays with you. Yeah, it kind of
the makers of the show.
Yeah, the makers of the show sometimes think, okay, this is just a little thing. But I grew up in Philadelphia, and when I was a kid, these people would host cartoon shows and stuff like that, and they would tell stories. And those things have stayed with me. Yeah. For my whole life.
That's been, I think, one of my favorite parts about this whole experience in terms of putting the movie out and talking about it is everybody who's kind of comes out with their, I had my own Brigsby Bear. And, it's like, the weird thing, too, is obviously, like, I've not seen every children's TV show ever created, nor did I see local Philadelphia children's whoever's hosting these cartoons or whatever, but you don't know what you're pulling from in your brain, and sometimes you are weirdly pulling from things you may have vaguely seen images of or something like that. But I really loved, like, people bring up this show Magic Garden all the time. Yeah. People talk about H.R. Puff and stuff, Sid and Marty Krofft,
Land of the Lost.
Land of the Lost,
yeah.
But it's fun for me as a fan of that type of entertainment, just to now have a whole new load of things to look up on YouTube and to kind of discover for the first time.
And also even the more mainstream children's educational, like Mr. Rogers or Sesame Street, like it's all, this Brigsby Bear is designed to teach lessons to what James thinks is all kids around the world or people around the world, but it ends up being just him. But it's like that feeling of when you're a kid watching these shows and Mr. Rogers kind of feels like he's talking just to you.
Right, it's very personal. Yeah. It's very personal.
I think about Mr. Rogers, I start to cry. Like if I think about Mr. Rogers for too long.
I feel like I'm getting teary-eyed.
But that is the time that you don't go, when you're a kid, you don't go rushing out to see what other people feel about it, Yeah. And that's what I wonder too, like we kind of lose that where we try to guess, like people now, let's say with movies, they're excited because some trailer of some giant movies is coming out in 2 years. But my love of film is always getting surprised. It's always some film that, when John Hurd died the other day, I saw chilly scenes of winter at a time where I was in a mild depression. And that movie was about kind of a guy in a mild depression. And I'm like, that movie stayed with me for like 30 some years. So again, and it's not a big movie that everybody knows. I recommend it to everybody, but that's that connection that we can have with art.
My girlfriend in college broke up with me. And then the next day my film class screened Born on the 4th of July, and for some reason, like, I was like, no! I vaguely remember anything about the movie except for the fact that I was so affected coming out of.
To be clear, you went, no,
and people were very upset with me.
So you guys doing this stuff since you were kids, is that what eventually got Lauren's attention, where you could do it on a big platform?
Well, he certainly didn't know us when we were kids, but we built a following through our internet videos, our sketch group Good Neighbor, and Dave and I did a bunch of stuff on our own as well, and we ended up getting some fans of the show, like people who worked at the show, and eventually they wanted to meet with us. I auditioned, and that's kind of how it went down. Yeah, Beck Bennett, who's on the show, also made videos with us prior to being hired.
Yeah, and then I think that they just saw the value of, they had seen through The Lonely Island, who came before us as a comedy group that made videos. They saw how that worked pretty well for them, and I think that they saw the value in bringing me on as a filmmaker to have someone at the show that with a built-in rapport with a couple new cast members, and it's been nice.
It's nice for us because it can be a very frightening place, and I went in there with two of my very good friends, so I feel sort of
And I'm kind
lucky
of
in a
always
way.
stable and even keel and kind of just get you through everything.
That's not true.
But it's got to be still surreal to be walking into that building, knowing that you work there and you're part of that long river of all those years of the comedy.
Especially, heavily in those first couple years. And that, when you're going through an experience like this film, it definitely puts that experience into perspective a little bit more, and that it is so valuable and iconic and incredible. But our dream is to make movies, and we loved this experience so much, and I get more taken by a lot of we were at the Cannes Film Festival, and that was such a more powerful experience. And maybe this is just me. I don't want to speak for you, Kyle, but that was very powerful for me. But I'm also not on stage in front of millions of people like week to week like Kyle is, so he's probably having a pretty powerful.
Well, yeah, it's the show. You experience dramatic highs and dramatic lows. Sometimes your stuff will get on. Sometimes you won't be seen in the show at all. But yeah, it all somehow evens out when, like, at the after party, you're having a beer with Paul McCartney or something like that.
Yeah. I always think it's interesting with that show that some of the great, comedians have come out of that show, but also some really great comedians got chewed up by that show and later still went on to have careers and stuff. But there's so many people that was like, that environment was the worst thing for me.
It's incredibly specific. You know what I mean? If you can't survive there, or if your material doesn't work with the rest of the show, it doesn't mean by any means that you're bad. Or
and also, like Kyle said, we have each other, so when you have those dramatic lows, for some people it can put them in such a rut that they have trouble climbing out of, and creatively maybe even, or just it snowballs, because especially for cast members, I can see how if you feel like you had a bad week and then you can't get yourself out of whatever that low is, and you don't have a best friend there to be like, oh, let's have fun this week, or like let's do something different or weird. I mean, everyone's experience, like Kyle said, is so specific, and everyone handles things differently. I've certainly had just miserable weeks that I haven't handled well emotionally, but we're just so fortunate that if either of us or Beck as well are struggling, that we can kind of pull each other up.
Just like in life too.
Damn, it always reminded me of like professional sports. When you're a kid, you're like, oh, they're having a great time.
Yeah.
But then you find out people are playing with fear because they could all be gone. That could be their last week. So you never realize that when you're watching a football game, that these guys are throwing up before every game. The movie in select theaters this Friday, July 28th. And already, I guess, people are talking to you guys about doing other stuff since you were able to pull this off.
Every day it's a new offer. I mean, like, most people are just curious what we want to do, but we're so much in the thick of getting people to go to this one that I don't think I'm personally not thinking too much about it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about, like, in August, I'd like to get healthy again. I don't think we've had a good stretch of time to be healthy boys.
Well, I would suggest this: just doing a lot of coke, buying gold rope chains. You know what I mean? It's
good.
All sweet.
How is that a good suggestion?
All right, thanks so much, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Best of luck with it, and Chris, I'll give you his information for the next movie. Seems like he's got a lot.
Or just to hang out.
All right, that's cool too.
You'll be scared if you don't tell you the truth. All right, see you next time. Coming through. Finally going to make the Chris Stanley movie.
It's exciting.
Wow. was happening between you guys? It was so...
Me and Dave have a connection.
I know, something really special.
That was odd and it was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I know we're supposed to accept everything these days.
And like kind of the way like me and Kyle and Ron just kind of felt like outside. Like
I felt like an outsider.
We were just kind of looking like something's going on between the two of them, and we're cut out. And we didn't really understand why.
I tried to look at Kyle and mime the gag thing, but then he's like, "What? It's my friend," and then I didn't know what to do. So I pointed at Vito, and Vito pulled his shirt up, just started playing bongos on his belly.
Good.
So thanks for the save, Vito.
No problem, man.
No problem, man. He really wishes his life was like that. That he was the cool, helpful guy, no matter what happened. He won't give up that giant fucking headband.
I really wish he would.
That's the scene.
Makes my life easier.
It's not coming to Montreal, is it?
All 4 of them are.
Ooh, boy.
Ew.
There are 3 new ones for the trip.
You're like, I think Bon Jovi went through a period like that where he would go back and change a headband.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is one of them going to be like Canadian flag or?
I don't do designs. I just
Dude,
do
that's so smart though. Like, so people there fucking feel comfortable with you.
Right,
Can I just give you some advice though?
Yes.
You never see the Canadian flag in Montreal. It's always the Quebec flag.
Oh yeah,
So,
maybe do that instead.
Yeah. And it's very weird because I thought the same thing when we went to Austin the last time we took Comedy 101. They don't rock the stars and bars. It's always the Texas flag.
Yeah. They're very proud of it.
You send Jen in because she, Jen, come on in. I'm trying to. Oh, it's a Saturday Night Live box.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out what that lid was that you were carrying around.
Oh, it's the SNL board game.
That thing has been around forever, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of signatures on that.
Who's all on it?
I'll find the list. We have a long list of all the names.
Let's give it away for the 40th anniversary of the show.
One of them's Alan Zweibel.
Oh, yeah, I love Alan. Yeah. That's one of my favorite people of all time.
Martin Short, Maya Rudolph.
Jesus Christ. Somebody's going to get the best SNL game of all time.
Kyle Mooney.
And then nobody want to play it with them. Who's your favorite SNL person of all time? Mine's Kyle Mooney.
Gilda.
Still Gilda, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But
favorite girl, favorite boy, Kyle Mooney.
Who's your favorite, Jen?
Kate McKinnon.
Ah, going new school.
Current cast.
Dave McCary.
Seriously, Chris, I know that you had a thing, but we just did the Kyle joke. I know that, you know what, in a way, I guess she stepped on your joke inside your head.
But then you wouldn't get off it.
Yeah.
Phil Hartman.
Fwarp.
Who's Fwarp?
Phil Hartman. Fwarp.
Definitely got to be Fwarp for me.
Literally heard Fwarp.
I was going to say Fwarp or Dizzy. Dizzy, probably. I'm trying to think of who Veets would pick.
All right, let's all guess.
All right, let's write it down. I think I got mine, too. I got a full cup and 1 pen in it.
Jen, don't write on the board game.
No, I'm not.
It'll look like that person signed it. She's just putting down John Belushi. Chris, who do you got?
And a guest star.
Come on, why are you trying?
Why? What? You can't open with the fucking
That's
joke.
not how that goes.
It's on threes in this business, son. Threes.
No, I went for the no joke because I thought someone else was going for the joke.
Yes.
I went Sandler.
I went Sandler.
I went Gilda.
Because he just heard it. Who is it?
Tracy Morgan.
Oh, I forgot. Great. Tracy. Duh.
I wonder if every time he traces something, people tease him about it.
Right.
There goes Tracy. Tracing again. You feel bad about your guest star?
Yeah, I feel pretty bad.
Now, how funny would that been if it was like Sandler, Gilda, and a guest star?
We're all doing Sandler. That's the fucking funny joke, Chris. You know what? You get one fucking compliment from a filmmaker. And
he's cocky.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really is.
Went to my head very quickly.
Dave McCary, who quite frankly... here, let me shut up the TV star while I say something else. You know what I mean? Like, people are home, like, Kyle, what are you doing pushing papers?
I'm just moving papers out of the way because there's so many in front of me.
Why do you have so many papers? I always say I hate paper.
I know you hate papers. That's why they're over by me. Oh, I keep them away from you.
Same thing.
I keep them away
They
from
try
you.
to hide the papers from me. Over by me. With Fwarp. Once I said there's not enough papers, and that was the worst day of my life.
Oh no. I don't have enough information on papers.
I want everything on papers right now. Did you know that they were all buddies like that and they came in a troop?
Yeah, I did. I knew that Beck Bennett and Kyle Mooney had kind of come in together.
Well, if you listen to the last Tim and Eric Unmasked, I kind of feel like they took some, those guys are doing our act.
Yeah.
Bit,
Mm-hmm.
Should have brought it up, but their movie's so nice. If it wasn't, I would have loved it. Just guess who doesn't really seem like they like you guys? Your idols.
When I went to see SNL, there was a Kyle Mooney and Beck Bennett sketch that got cut. So, because I went to the dress
I'm
rehearsal,
sure that happens quite a bit,
and it was so fucking funny, and I cannot believe. And it was one of those.
Why didn't you bring it up?
I know I should have, but it was so funny, and maybe it would have been a negative thing.
I would have loved
sucks,
it.
Right?
I would have loved it.
But it was. The premise of it was that. You know how they kind of do that kind of very nostalgia based, like it was like a very 90s kind of sitcom situation, the very like stilted acting, and then in this very special episode, Alec Baldwin had a problem with alcohol, and so just like everyone was trying to like confront him about it.
I love special episodes.
And then they had done a situation where he was trying to get this job interview, and he was in there like interviewing for this job, but he was acting very drunk. But then somehow they were outside the window and just looking like really concerned outside the window of his job opportunity. Like they were always just in plain sight. It was fucking hilarious. And it's one of those weird things you watch, if you see the dress rehearsal and then you see the sketches they decide to keep in the final, you're like, well, what was it about that one? I mean, that one.
Can I just give you this though, to make you think? Think of our GPS episodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
We always start with more songs. We don't cut the best songs. We cut for time.
Mm-hmm.
This becomes Chris Stanley, who keeps screaming, we only have so much time. So, we're like, okay, we can't do that.
Yeah.
We had to cut a very nice song that we all love. It was probably the only or the biggest chart hit on the whole GPS Jersey Shore. But, time takes a cigarette.
Yeah.
Puts it in your mouth. You pull on a finger, another finger, and then cigarettes. Jim, why didn't you jump in and start singing with us? I know that you're a giant fan of that album. I know you're a spider from Mars.
The only songs I jump in is when we do rap songs. Like that's the only ones. Or like the pop songs. I'm still like trying to know the lyrics to our end song right now.
Were you doing?
Everybody sings it, and I'm like, okay.
You know what? I mean, you have a little time at home that you could just listen.
Memorize it.
It's very wordy, that song.
I also noticed you weren't doing the safety dance. I mean, that's something that's going to have to change.
She's like Kyle Mooney's character. It's all fresh and new to
Yeah,
her.
it's a whole new world of white people.
And then Gail, when Gail wrote to me, did that screener work for you? Because Chris always sends us bad screeners. I had to go around 18. Because, there's always some fucking thing I got to sign up for.
Yeah.
I got to download.
That's Chris's joke.
Yeah.
I don't. That's not a joke. It's every company uses a different screener process for their links. It's very frustrating.
Yeah, but what are those processes called? Because there's a word. You have to get another.
Like a login name?
No, the login
Plugin?
names. No, it's not even just plug-in, but it's
Application?
yeah. But what do they call those things? Like Google is one, or Fire.
Web browser.
Browser.
I don't think it's a browser. I
Oh.
think it's something else.
Streamer platform.
Yeah, it's always a streamer platform. Now there's, by the way, I didn't see the trailer for this, and I know it's up on the iBank. Does it give away too much information?
I don't know. I didn't see the full movie.
This
so
fucking movie is perfect for you, dude.
I
You're
want to
gonna
watch
love
it.
it.
I can't wait to go see it.
You gonna see it in theater?
Yeah. I feel
Please
like I
do.
don't deserve the screener.
No, it's not that you don't deserve. They feel that you don't deserve.
yeah.
You're fucking. And when he even started going, "Where'd you get the song from?" I was like laughing because some people get like, "Where that song's not even out." and Chris will just go and steal it off of their movie that isn't out yet. And it's like their biggest fear. Some people are like, don't put that on YouTube. Like, who gives a fuck? Really? You know what I mean? Who's going to go and hear your movie theme and go, now I'm not going to go see the movie?
He's putting on LimeWire.
What would you have done if instead of loving you for it, if he had said like, that spoils the whole end of the movie, what you just played?
You cock.
I don't know.
Instead of, I want to make films with you and not Kyle. I got a feeling that they were kind of nerdy when they were kids. You know, those kids, I always think, deserve a punch in the back. Like I said to a smart kid in my school, well, some people are smart about other stuff, like punching. I'm a smart puncher, so maybe we're even.
Straight A's in punching.
At least punching weak kids. I'm not going to go around punching strong kids. That's insane. Because, like, my neighbor even said to me, like, this lady, she was like, why don't you pick on someone your own size? I go, I could lose that fight. But rather fight people much smaller.
So easy.
Yeah. That's the path of least resistance. Well, Trump just said when he was trying to get military stuff in front of the military the other day, I never want to be in a fair fight. I want it to be the exact opposite of a fair fight. That's what he was saying to the military. And that's true. That's the best way to win a fight.
A squash match.
Yes. You have more weapons and a bigger army than the other people. And you have food supplies and they don't.
You can cut them
I'll fight those fuckers every day.
They're so weak and tired.
You think about bullying. Trump is picking on stupid Jeff Sessions every single day. And every time I read it, it's like he's trying to, I guess, push him into quitting.
Yeah.
But then you're like, why don't you fire him?
Yeah, I guess maybe he doesn't want to be too fiery, so maybe he's just like, if I just bully him.
Does it look worse, though?
Of course it does.
Like, if I was just, like, every day putting out tweets about what a dick veto was, after a while, people are like, I don't think you want him on your show.
They're like, no.
Hold on, I want to write
Vito,
down a note.
do you want to stay?
I'm going to write down a note. Start tweet bullying Vito.
Oh, please don't.
And if they don't dance, that's fucking stuck in my head now. So we are on our way to Montreal. Comedy 101. We're looking forward to.
That's happening this Friday, July 28th at the Mainline Theater in Montreal as part of the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival. Go to the ibang.com to find out how to get tickets. Our mentors are Jim Norton, Dan Soder, and Jimmy Schubert.
There are guests on our show. The word mentor might come in a little weird to you if you're not used to it, but they'll be doing comedy and being funny in a way that you've never seen them do before. It's Comedy 101 is so much fun. So go to the iBang for that, or you can go to the Just for Laughs page for that. I'm also, I don't even know if I've talked about this. I'm going to be hosting the cast of a TV show called Vice Principals on HBO. Who's the guest for that, Chris?
Dan McBride.
Well, let's just stop there for a second.
Let's just celebrate now.
Yeah, why don't we start there? Yay!
Yeah.
Woo! Right, who else?
Walton Goggins.
Who's just absolutely unbelievable.
Jody Hill.
And he's the partner. He's the Dave McCrary of...
Oh, yeah. David Gordon Green, Georgia King, Edie Patterson, and Kimberly Hebert Gregory. So it's the entire cast.
Like all those long names. I'm going to have to wear my glasses for this. I know it. I'd love to get one of those music stands if they have them up there, Chris.
I'll make sure you have one.
Do they have music in Canada?
I don't think they do.
I know safety dance.
They have safety dance. But stay in touch with us through the iBang and also the Bennington Instagram, I guess, Bennington Twitter, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. On Instagram, it's at
Bennington XM.
SXM. And then on Twitter, at Bennington Show.
Yes.
It's safe to dance. It's a safety dance. Everybody look at your pants. Good stuff. Montreal's going to be a little chilly, girls. It's going to be in the 60s
Really?
at night.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It was cold out there today when I came in. What do you mean, oh no?
Because I brought so many like summer dress outfits.
You didn't bring it. You're still here. No, you can wear that during the day. It's going to be nice in the 70s during the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're going to need
Jacket.
day wear and night wear, I feel. It's going to be a costume change situation.
Or get good and drunk and you're not going to notice. You know, like when you're at a football game. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Wait.
Chris, you're struggling with the safety dance.
What's wrong with safety dance?
Well, he doesn't have the shoulders for that. I mean,
Also, it exposes just one right sweaty bit.
that's from fear. I was told about that.
I think it's a glandular problem.
Chris is like more of a river dance dancer. He's all
Yeah.
feet. He's all ankles down with his dancing.
Strong ankles. On
Yeah.
me.
And it's safe to dance. Oh God. What is this thing? Chris, what are you most looking forward to in Montreal? Drinking?
Oh no. I mean, the parties are very fun. There's the Comedy Central party, the Netflix party, the Funny or Die party. They're star-studded as
And
well.
remember last year you were at all those parties and you were sober as a school marm.
Stone cold sober.
I think that's the phrase.
Yeah. Sober as a school marm, like we used to say. You drunk? No, I'm sober as a school marm.
Church mouse? Or did I make that up? What is the thing that you're...
As a priest, soldier
Sober
as a judge.
Sober as
Yeah.
a judge.
Yeah.
Where am I getting the church mouse and the school marm from?
Well, you're quiet as a church
Oh,
mouse.
okay. Okay. And where's this school marm come into play ever? Sexy as a school marm?
Yeah.
I don't think the word marm ever works. Are all the parties after we get there, before? Because this has gone on for a while. Yeah,
The parties are Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
that's it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Saturday, there's no party unless there's some private party I'm not aware of yet.
Saturday, everybody was exhausted last year. We
Yeah.
were all just smoking and hanging out in front of
Yeah,
the
we had a
hotel.
party of our own.
Yeah. It was really fun.
Friend party.
Friend party. That's when we were all singing that song. We are the CITs, so pity us. The kids are brats, the food is hideous.
We're gonna smoke and drink and fool around. We're nookie bound, we're North Star CITs. We are the CITs, so pity us.
Oh, Chris doesn't know any of it. He thinks by taking his head. It's from the movie Meatballs.
I know.
Yeah,
it is.
which
I haven't seen
you
it in a while.
Why?
Why you listed it as your favorite movie ever just 2 weeks ago.
You're right.
I wish Dave McCrary could see what a nerd he fucking became friends with.
Here's your precious boy now, Dave.
Hey, good news too. You guys got bunk beds, you and Vito.
Oh,
Yay!
Bonding trip again.
I don't like bonding with Vito.
I'm gonna miss our bunk up because we were like roomies last trip.
You guys took baths together.
So
I hope me and
we
Chris
want to
have
get clean.
I hope me and Chris have a room off some random highway in Montreal.
Oh, God, trying to remember everything from the last trip. So Wednesday night is the Netflix party. That's the big one. That's what we're all going crazy for.
Wednesday, that's the biggest party.
I'm going to be doing Big J's show as well. What's your fucking deal? I believe on Thursday night.
That's gonna be a fun one. And then what's a big outdoor party? Friday?
That's Friday, the Funny or Die party.
Oh, is that the one that Russell Peters is hosting with hip hop?
No, that's on
Did you hear about this, Gail?
Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
last year. He did. If it's the Comedy Central party, last year he just started DJing for the last 3 hours at the Comedy Central
It's
party.
like his own separate party.
Yeah, I think
So
this
it's
might be
Thursday night.
Thursday night. It's like Melly Mel. It's like
What?
2 other hip hop people that are going to be there.
Yeah, let me say it. It's like a show more than a party. Let me get the details of everybody that's going to be performing. Because he DJs, but he old school DJs. He doesn't like the new guys with the laptops. I think he
Right.
scratches. You know? He calls these guys fucking bums. He's like Chris.
Yeah.
Chris will be up there. See if you can spin, Chris.
I will.
You can spin, right?
Yeah.
I can't find the details of it. Looking around. I'm nookie bound on the North Star of the CIT.
Yeah,
All right, let's see this. Naughty by Nature.
That's awesome.
Melly Mel of Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Lisa of Lisa and the Cult Jam.
Whoa.
And other people that'll be spinning as well. So it's going to be cool.
Hope my pass gets me in.
Oh, it's outside.
Go ahead and.
Outside is open to street people like
nice.
yourself.
Cool. Just a mere street person. street walker, really.
There's another word for street people too. I can't think of it right now. It's a great name.
Vagrant?
Come on, Chris. What? Vagrant.
School marm?
So that's the plaza. And then the Comedy Jam is going to be in the plaza Saturday night, the goddamn Comedy Jam outside. So that'll probably be our last night party because it was really fun. We went fucking ape shit for that show last year.
Yeah.
Plus, I got a guy meeting me. I mean, if you guys are interested, with a fucking big bag of heroin.
Oh, God.
Okay.
If you guys want to have a heroin party. The only thing I hate about my heroin parties is I'll look up from a nod and go, no one's mingling. Nod back out again. You know, it always starts going, I like to see more.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure when you're hosting a heroin party.
Oddly, the pressure, I don't feel it, you know? Like I get a sense, I have a thought that's far away whispering this is pressure, but it's cut off from me feeling that. What's going on?
Something really bad.
Let me see. Turn around. Oh, you're not going.
No.
No. You're not going to make that flight.
No.
Slightly higher. Ow. I've done something horrible.
Well, here's the thing. Your whole back is so fucking crazy tight.
I carry a lot of stress.
What are you worried about? That Birdie's going to get another pig ear?
Yeah, I think so. She's really enjoying her t-shirt.
Oh, that's nice. What do you give her, a t-shirt from yesterday, Ian Finance?
No, I did not give her that shirt.
Ian was so much fun yesterday, right?
I love Ian.
Let's take a break here, kids. All right, let's take a break. Right back, Bennington. Hey, it's the Bennington Show. We'll be up in Montreal. Go to the iBang to see how you can get tickets to Comedy 101. Vito, some people have asked me, where are their pictures with Tim and Eric?
So we're waiting to hear back from promotions because they usually handle putting up the pictures, and promotions wasn't actually there. We took the pictures ourselves, and we can't reach a lot of the CRM people because we don't get their emails, and it has to go through promotions. So
go through Don.
Okay.
That's the stuff that Don can get done in a second.
Okay.
He's good at that.
Yeah. He knows where everybody works and how it works. But then let me know so I could just say to you, go to Don. Instead of you failing at this over and over. By the way, Vito, I thought of the word plug-in.
Oh, okay.
They always make me get another fucking plug-in. I'm like, I don't want to just load my fucking computer up with your stupid plugins. If I see 50 movies, they want 50 different plugins.
And I thought the point of having this computer is that I don't have to plug in.
That's good.
Am I right?
That's good.
All right, guys?
How's your back?
Hurts.
Donut?
Hurts donut. I got a week back.
When'd you get that?
About a week back.
So odd because it's... By the way, did you give out your Tim and Eric poster?
Yes, we have.
What do you mean, yes, we have?
No,
that means that we
didn't.
Yes,
we will.
Look, if you're going to be that far away from the mic, just keep your mouth shut. Now get closer and give yourself a 5 count.
5, 4.
You
3,
see what happens when you get a little
2,
closer? You can hear yourself, right?
Yes.
What do you want to be, heard or not heard?
I want to be heard.
All right. Then go to Big Brothers. Big Brothers.
Big Brothers.
Vito was telling me that you embarrassed him in front of Glenn. He said you didn't know much about the game.
Look, I know plenty about the game.
But
Vito, compared to Vito, no one knows anything about Big Brother. He's a goddamn Wikipedia article about it.
And why are you on the show?
Yeah, it seems like
I'm a fan of the game.
Why don't you be like me? Be a fan and listen. That's what I do.
I did happen to notice that you said the phrase haunted eviction instead of halted eviction. And I was like, this is a show about two experts on Big Brother, and he's like, the haunted eviction. And he has to be like, and then Vito's like, the haunted? Haunted, is that what you're saying?
Halting hex is what it's called,
Halting
Chris.
hex.
Yeah. It's a ridiculous thing that's only
From
in
the
this
Den
season.
of Temptation.
Look, if you don't know what it is, don't talk. That's why I don't talk about Game of Ones. I don't know anything about it. All right, so we got a prize to give out, signed Tim and Eric.
From Jay at Float Culture on Twitter. He's also at The Blackery. At Bennington Show, I've been a fan of Tim Heidecker and Eric Wareheim since Tom Goes to the Mayor. Them doing on MASH Show is unmissable.
Oh, that's great.
Nice.
That's very nice.
Yeah, Jay.
Well, now you've been a fan that long. Now you've got a big poster signed by them, and I wish that I had nothing but signed stuff. Did you get a GNR poster?
I did.
Why was it aged on purpose? Why did it make it seem like we were seeing a show from 1965?
I guess like to make it so cool and rock and roll.
Yeah, but isn't Time supposed to do that?
It should.
Time takes a cigarette and puts it in your mouth.
Jen, what's the next part?
You should know it, Jen. You say you're the big fucking Bowie fan. You go everywhere Bowie does. Do, 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 do. We got any business we got to take care of? Or I got to fucking rant about plugins again. Maybe that's where I need to go with this.
No more plugins. Listen until another screener
Why do you
comes
say
in.
no more plugins?
What do you mean by that, Chris?
Because they blow.
You have to use them. That's the whole point of why it was brought up.
Looks like Vito really told you.
I like instead that Vito also said, at Bennington Show. I've been a fan of, like, he throws in the at Bennington Show.
Yeah.
Adorable. Adorable. I don't know why women don't like you. How long has it been since you've been with a real woman?
Sexually.
Yeah. Doing the dirty deeds and done dirt cheap.
Me and my ex broke up a year and a half ago.
Hey, she might even be in Montreal with her friends.
It'd be nice to catch up, I guess.
When you say that, it sounds like you don't really mean it, though, Vito.
No, I mean, there's a lot of fun activities.
Maybe they'll invite you over and you can put on a cuck mask.
I don't think I'd want to do that, but it would be nice to catch up.
Do they have one in his size?
No.
My face isn't that fat.
Let's just wrap a sheet around his head. I got right on his chest. This is a cuck racist.
I'm a racist. I never said anything racist.
Well, the sheet over your head makes you look like KKK.
But I didn't
And
opt
the
to
Bloods
wear
and the
it.
Crips. Trump called Sessions very weak. Remember
on
when
your team,
Remember when
dude.
the libtards used to call him very weak, and then everybody got mad? Well, there's a thing up today that Sessions, his main thing, is he wants to go after the weed business. So if you're a weed smoker, you would be probably on Trump's side right now.
He hates reefer.
Yeah.
Sessions.
He says it leads to a lot of violent crime.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true, I've been jumped by weed heads quite a few times in my life.
They're crazy.
Once I was carrying a bag of candy, they jumped at me and just started eating it. Weed zombies. Dude, fucking zombies that smoke
That's
weed.
good.
Oh.
Chris, get Dave McCary back in here, your best friend. We have figured out your movie. It's Weed Zombies.
Look, guys, it's zombies. They're stoned all the time.
Weed Zombies from Astoria. By the way, I heard Chris try to tell somebody he was from Long Island City yesterday.
Oh my
because
God,
that's such a
Chris.
flashy name. And then I go, "You're not from Long Island City." And he yelled at me in front of these people. Technically, I am.
I live on the border. I live on a border street.
You're in a
You're a
border
border town.
I'm in a border town. You go across the street, it's Long Island City. Go across the other street, Astoria.
What side of the street are you on?
Astoria side.
Then you live in Astoria. Like if you live in a border town here in Texas, you don't go around going, "I guess we're Mexicans."
I am.
We have no rights in this country.
I mean, I'm border town, am I not?
You could say I'm from Juarez.
There's a reason we have fucking borders, so you can tell one from the other.
It's just so close. It's just so close to Long Island City.
I know where you are. I would never walk from your house to the standing room. Too fucking far.
It's like a half-hour walk. But that's
Chris,
it's the outskirts of
living a
Long Island
lie.
City.
No, it
Or
isn't.
across
It's
the street.
Astoria.
No, I'm on the Astoria side, but I walk across the street and it's Long Island City.
Then why did you yell at me? Technically, I am. Technically, everything he just explained why technically he's not. And by the way, this was like kind of a groovy couple, so he was trying to groove up to him, you know?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, our neighborhood has changed. He's saying our neighborhood's changed so much.
Oh, my God.
So much.
So you're trying to be a cool guy.
Yeah, exactly. I try to relate to other Long Island City heads.
You really would prefer to be from there? Like, you would prefer that as your reputation?
I think it's a cooler part of town these days. The stories are still filled with so many old Greek people.
Yeah, I would have thought that's why you would have embraced it.
They don't like me. I've never gotten along with Greeks. I would go drink at Greek bars, and they would sometimes not serve me. Like, I'd go into a bar.
You weren't Greek enough?
I wasn't, literally not Greek enough. I wasn't, like, speaking or ordering in Greek.
Right.
And they were like, and then it was right after the smoking ban, so, like, some bars still let you smoke. I would go into a Greek bar, try to light a cigarette, like, no, that's not for you. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This fucking old man next to me smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, but you can't, you got to respect where the fuck you are. I remember we had to, everybody in town, I'm like 18, I'm just gambling every weekend on fucking football, right? So we had to go to the fucking bar where you pick up the money. And this guy saying, so it was a friend of mine's brother, and he's like, hey, I went there last week. It's really fucking cool. You know, I was with, and he mentioned this fucking basically a man that he was fucking learning the fucking ropes from, of how he could go pick up and drop off the neighborhood's fucking football gambling.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, come with me, you guys. It's like being in The Godfather. He's like, so fucking great. We go into this fucking joint, right? There's not a fucking soul in there, right? It's old school Italian. We sit down. He's like, you could get food and everything. We look down. Like, everything was like super fucking priced. And later I figured out, oh yeah, they don't want people in there. This is a fucking front. They want you to go in and go $48 for pasta? Fuck you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so he tries to order beers for us. The guy comes over and goes, what the fuck are you doing? You don't come in here drinking beer. Fucking another guy comes over. What are they doing here? And he goes, they're picking up for this other guy's name. You two, get the fuck out. You're the only one who's staying. You fucking just made it. And I just seeing him get a fucking face job as we're walking out of there.
Oh, no.
We're like fucking kids hanging around a fucking men's club.
Oh, my God.
A fucking private men's club. And he brings us in his first week to do fucking pickups. He brings two of his younger buddies. Come on in, guys.
You shouldn't even do that if you work at like a regular bar.
I know.
Like, it should be a while before your friends show up.
So they put together this web of stuff to move money in and out for gamblers, and then these fucking three kids sat down. And the point was we were going to watch the game there,
right?
And I'm like, I'm not watching the game at these prices. This is crazy. I can't afford their apps. Their apps are out of fucking
$200.
Yeah, everything was like that. It was fucking
for an
hilarious.
antipasto plate.
But anybody probably that was eating there was eating for free.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
it was
exactly.
just a fake thing. But immediately, even as a child, Chris, I respected it. You on the other side, here you are as a fucking adult, and you're still yelling out. You don't belong in those fucking places.
Well, I don't go. This was a while ago. I was drunk. It was right after
You
the smoking
fucking, you millennials are just taking your gentrification everywhere you can through Greektown.
You're pushing all the Greeks out. When I used to live in Greenpoint, which is all Polish, and any of the delis or restaurants or whatever stores that are there, they would take the Polish people before me or anyone who was new to the neighborhood. Sure. So they would just like, if it was like in a line, they would just start taking all the Polish people, and you'd have to stand there and wait. I just stood there and waited.
You respected
I was like, yeah,
you respected
their
tradition.
I don't like it. But you know what? They don't like that I'm here. I'm just gonna go ahead and just be like, all right, I'll wait an extra 5 minutes for this old lady to get
this
her cheese.
This is America. I have every right. I got here before this person who's lived here for 90 years. Give it to me. Later today on the iBang, 10 shows in Montreal you absolutely can't miss.
I'm gonna check that out because it is so overwhelming when you're there. It's really difficult to go, okay, here's this show, here's this, how am I going to get there?
Why don't you just try to be Jen and figure out with a laser focus of who you want to end up with because of their place in the world?
That's a good idea. Who do I want my Montreal bedmate to be? I'm trying to get a showmance going.
It's gonna be as it always is, Vito. You and Vito shacked up and feeling bad about yourself. You're like, Vito, that happens to a lot of guys. And then tomorrow, our buddy Justin is putting up where to eat and get cigars in Montreal, which is basically just a list I was having him make for me. And I'm like, wait, why don't you just put that up on the iBag?
Everyone likes food and cigars.
Yeah. Justin fucking hangs around down by the stand a lot too. And he's always very enthusiastic with any story.
Yeah, he is. He's a passionate guy. He's excited. He's excited to be in New York. He's excited we're going back to Montreal. Everything makes him pumped.
He loves everything.
I thought we were going to hear from him by today. Oh, it's our friend Julian. Julian, what's up?
Hey, I have something to take up with Chris here.
Please do.
Yeah, because I'm originally from Astoria, and I'm really offended that he thinks Long Island City is cooler. 'Cause it's totally not.
It's just hipper, you know. Astoria is like old.
Define hip.
There's better restaurants in Long Island City.
That doesn't define hip for me.
No, that doesn't define hip.
It's a funner neighborhood than Astoria. Astoria is boring.
What do you mean boring?
No, it's not.
There's nothing going on in Astoria.
Plenty to do.
Chris,
I disagree entirely.
Chris, when did you suddenly get into fucking electronic dance music? What do you fucking want to do?
What do you want?
That you can't do in your neighborhood?
Go to the discotheque?
You never do that.
I want oceanside bars. Riverside bars.
You're not going to have that.
Just because it's wet doesn't make it the ocean. You fucking saw something that is the exact opposite of hip.
Don't you have like your beer garden or whatever, don't
There's
you?
two.
To me, that would be funky hip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want? More rooftop bars?
I know.
I love a rooftop. I love
more
drinking
faux fucking decor. You know, Julian's right, Chris. You're a piece of fucking garbage.
What do you like? A speakeasy?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
By the way, alcohol's legal, Chris.
But it's more fun to drink it if it's by a mixologist.
Chris said to me the other day, I go, let's go to this restaurant. He goes, no. I go, why? He goes, they don't even put cheesecake on a stick. And I'm like, I don't want that.
Chris.
You know, I'd rather have a slice. No. I don't want to get a little fucking stick of something.
It's whimsical to have
Chris,
a piece
is that a unicorn latte that you're drinking?
Delicious, isn't it? You haven't had one yet?
No.
Chris, let me use a word to describe you. I never thought I would have to.
All right.
Cunt. I never thought I'd have to say that about you. But you've turned quite cunty over the years.
I can't believe it's come to this.
Ever since you came into that mullah, and I know exactly how much.
Oh, that's where this comes
An
from.
obscene
New money.
amount of money, which he hasn't even got delivered yet. When's it coming in?
I cannot comment on anything.
Just tell me when it's coming in.
I can't
You
comment.
can say when it's coming.
I'm going to be fucking standing in front of your mailbox that day.
There was a settlement.
Oh, God, we already know that
I had a
part.
case and there was a settlement. That's
I
it.
understand, but when do you get your money?
I cannot comment on anything.
Hey, by the way, Julian, I had these two watch the opening episode of Ozark last night.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So good.
I really
Amazing.
like it.
And you said you and your boyfriend binge watched it all weekend out in
Yes.
Echo
Yes.
Park.
Yeah.
What do you think as it goes along?
You
Don't
guys
give
are gonna
anything
love it.
away. I think I've seen
No.
5 or 6 episodes.
I've only seen the first episode.
I've only seen one.
So please, not too much info.
I'll just-
general
No, I mean,
feelings.
I have no info. I'm just going to say it's a really great show. The acting is fantastic. I just love it. I think it's so good.
I'll say this to you guys without giving anything away. There's a character that you haven't seen yet, right?
Mhm.
Who gets killed.
Oh no!
So just
A
watch
death?
when you're meeting new characters, one of them will die.
This is not the kind of show I thought there would be death in.
Can't handle this.
Boy, that opening fucking thing, right? Don't give it away for others.
I don't want to, but I do.
Intense.
It's so good. And Jason Bateman kills it in it. Like in that first episode, I was kind of in awe of his performance. And then at the end saw that he's directing this show.
He and I directed it together.
Really?
Oh, wow.
I didn't do. He did more than me. I even said take my name off it. I felt like I did nothing by the end of it. This was back in my drinking days, about 2 weeks ago. I'm out of that now.
Uh-huh.
I'm fresh. I got a brand new chip that means more to me than anything in the world, including my kids.
Hey.
That's the kind of dedication you have to have, Gail. That's something you don't understand.
What about the dedication of being a father?
That's over for me.
I've done my time.
Did it, done, move on. I don't see Vito's father doing anything for him for the past 27 years. Okay. You're just going to come in and giggle because you don't have a line. That's okay. Julian, let's go back to you and talk about this boyfriend of yours. Is he from the entertainment world?
He is in the entertainment world on a smaller scale, but yeah.
Is he in front of or behind of? You know what I'm saying?
Behind.
In a producing capacity?
Producing, sometimes directing, filming. Is a man of various trades.
Wow. All related to the same thing. So
you're saying it's Jason Bateman?
If you're with Jason Bateman right now, I'll go fucking crazy.
No, it's Justine. I'm with Justine.
I used to love Justine.
I do. I love Justine a lot.
Yeah.
Currently.
She hasn't really made a lot of stuff in a while, right?
No.
Yeah. No. Well,
congratulations to you.
Here. I think Chris has no sense of community and no integrity.
I have plenty of integrity.
To work on that.
He's a fucking creep.
I'm not a creep.
You're new money, Chris, and that's the way you're behaving.
I can't comment about money, new or old.
You can comment on your old money.
Are you still going to throw that
party? There's nothing's happening because I can't comment on anything.
Why can't you throw a party?
I can't comment on anything involving finances.
Well, what about your birthday party?
There's no party planned. Nothing's planned.
What is that, next month?
It's next month, yeah.
Are you going to do a birthday party wedding this year?
I'm not getting
and
married.
Baby announcement?
What? No, I'm not getting married. I'm not getting anyone pregnant.
Oh my God. And you're going to be 33, right?
34.
You're going to be 34?
Yeah.
He told me the other day he's going to be 30 fart.
Like that one, Rock?
I think you've got a week back.
When did I get that?
About a week back. Listen, in between, you got to read between the lines with me. Like Chris always says, he tries to snort between the lines. All right, Julian, I'm sorry that he disparaged your neighborhood. He's
That's
a piece
sick.
of fucking garbage, and he lives in a garbage dump. Congratulations to you and Francis Ford Coppola. I hope that you're very happy.
So excited.
Thank you. All right, bye, guys. I love you.
Oh, he's so sweet.
I just really hate that Chris disappointed her like that.
Well, she loved the story so much. Why she moved to Echo Park?
She had to. There was a murder.
Oh God. Well, then I can't
know
blame
about
her.
that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I was involved in the cover up.
Oh my God.
And I'm the one who took her to the train station. I said, "Get on that train."
Don't you dare turn around.
Yeah, I go. If you're going to turn around, just look at me one more time. Show me your tits. Show them to me. Anyway, the point is this, right? Be fucking true to your school, just like you would to your girl or guy. You be true to your school now and let your colors fly.
Unlike Chris Stanley.
Look, I'm across the
Turned
street.
his heart against Astoria. Like a cold-blooded gangster.
That's him. He's the fucking Iceman, and the Iceman cometh.
All over the place.
No kidding about that.
And from what I've heard, it's very curdled.
Ew. It's just hot out.
Gail, you did a fantastic Gail Meets Girls. It's one of my favorite.
Thanks. It was a really fun one. Emily Tarver and Michelle Buteau, and it's up now at the Interrobang, and you can download it as well on iTunes and Google Play.
The National Lampoon was sold to Palm Star Media in a $12 million deal. I did not still think that thing was worth $12 million.
Yeah, I was very shocked to hear. Now, what goes into that deal? Back catalog, everything?
I don't think so. Most of those are owned by the studios, as far as I would know. But you do own the name National Lampoon, so you can put that above movies.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it was. You could go in and pay them money. And like if we were going to do Chris Stanley, let's suppose we had a movie called Chris Stanley's Salute to Astoria. It would then for a certain amount of money, we could call it National Lampoon. Chris Stanley salute to the story.
Right, and then you know it's going to be funny, zany comedy, but adult in nature.
Oh yeah.
You know what? You're right. They may own, the vacation franchise, and I don't know. Somebody look into that. And Meatballs, and what else have they done?
Animal House.
Yeah.
They've never tried to reboot an Animal House. Now, here's what's funny when Animal House came out. Gather around, everybody. Have a little story.
Oh,
come on, guys.
It was 9 years.
Guys, come on.
It was 9 years after Woodstock, and they get the idea for this.
Weird to bring that up.
But the frats were the exact opposite of popular then. Frats were only like the fucking bad frat. Like people you wouldn't want to hang out with. There were no...
Right. There wasn't a clean cut,
No, there was.
Oh.
But what I'm saying is there was no Animal House type frats.
Oh, gotcha.
No one, if you said you were a frat, that was like saying, I'm a dick.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I fucking voted for Nixon and I support the Vietnam War. So people didn't like fucking frats. And then when it came out, immediately frats got big again. But this is the other thing, and I don't think people realize it. Animal House, way bigger than Caddyshack, like 7-8 times more.
Really?
At the box office. Bigger than fucking Stripes, bigger than Meatballs by about fucking 4 or 5 times. So those movies have kind of aged better than Animal House has. Mainly because I think a lot of people hate frats to this day.
Yeah, I would not have thought that at all. Like, I mean, I do now because I was told, but not naturally. Yeah, I mean, I think that movie doesn't get... It certainly doesn't have that kind of play, where it was just... It felt like those other movies were kind of always on. Didn't it feel like those other movies were always on TV, but Animal House was not...
I'm talking about box office.
Yeah. But I'm saying the way they lived afterwards. Like...
Yes. As a matter of fact, Doug Kenny, who was involved in both, was so depressed after Caddyshack that some people believed he killed himself. He did not die in an accident, but he jumped. It's a debate to this day. And the movie made money. It just didn't make Animal House money.
Man, I never heard that. That's really sad.
That's why I try to, I get cut down for a lot of stuff that I say around here.
No.
As being too factual and whatever, but...
You have factoids. That's you.
I don't have factoids. I have research, and I try to share with you guys, and it's seen as some kind of nerdy factoid. That fucking kid doesn't even look in here anymore, and you fucking got him his job.
Yeah.
You know what? You get no fucking respect.
Strange.
What's strange is that I give you the fucking power, and then you fucking, reflect back on us with that fucking nerd walking by like that. Disco Dan won't even talk to us anymore because of the blow up.
That makes me sad. I missed Dan.
Vito, I got to start nurture you. You're supposed to be the social game guy, but you don't play it. You're my Jeff Sessions. Very weak. Sad.
Sad.
I've been talking to people. I've been chatting people up.
Well, chat up that fucking guy and say you treat fucking Chris Stanley like cock.
Gladly.
Thanks. You hate him?
Yes.
I think always has.
Yeah, I've never. I just
so
want him to come back for a second.
Here's the thing. I can't get anybody to look it up, but I'm going to look for it now. They have control over the intellectual property. Animal House, the old school and radio content, which probably doesn't have a lot of stuff, magazines content. They own the word Animal House. They sold the vacation rights to Warner Brothers in 2014. How about Meatballs? That's what I need to know. Meatballs. Hey, Tom, what's up, buddy?
Not much, Bronny B. What's going on?
Nada.
So I'm not really that smart, and but I have seen quite a bit of movies. Now, if Chris were to launder the money he got through a casino, would he actually be able to then talk about it?
Interesting.
You gotta clean this, Chris?
Clean
I'm
it.
not cleaning anything.
If you're gonna try to pass dirty money, you're gonna be fucked.
There was a settlement, and that's all I can say. I don't know anything about dirty money, or laundering, or casinos. I don't know about any of it. I don't know where these people come up with these ideas.
Liz Heads Fire tweeted this at us. I also hate the daughter, but love the weird son. Could not agree more. Yeah, Liz also brought up a character you guys haven't even seen yet.
He doesn't die, does he?
Don't
What makes
even
you think?
ask.
Let me just give you this.
All right.
What makes you think it's a him?
Oh, shit.
Leaper.
Oh, fuck.
And sexist.
I am a sexist.
Both.
It's true.
Guys, yesterday I went to the dentist after the show.
Mm.
And I'm in the waiting room. And I think I've come across maybe the sickest individual of all time. This guy comes out of a room, comes around back into like the waiting room, and he's talking with a receptionist. And she goes to him. Now, I like to set it up. This guy is, I would say, 30-something, very corporate, very clean cut, handsome, good teeth, nice suit kind of situation. Overly friendly.
American Psycho.
American Psycho, big time. Like exactly like that. And the receptionist says, okay, but you understand that you're paying for this cleaning in full. And, you know, immediately I'm thinking, that's kind of strange. I would think this guy seems like the kind of guy who has health insurance, would have dental. And he's like, okay. And like the reason is, and she's like, because it only covers you for 2 cleanings a year. And to be honest, that's really enough for anyone. And he goes, I know. This happens to me every year. She goes, yes, but we're only at July at this point. And he's like, I know. So he's like, it sounds like it's like a lot of money. He's like talking to her quietly. And then he goes like this, should I make an appointment for my next cleaning now, or should I call you? And she goes, I think you should think about it, because I think you're set for a year. And he's like, I know, but I'd really like to get another one in this summer. Maybe if not next month. This guy fucking loves it. And the way he was talking about it was freaking me out. Me out.
He's addicted to getting his fucking teeth cleaned?
Dude is addicted to getting his teeth cleaned, and he's paying out of pocket. And it sounds like he's setting himself up for a good 5 cleanings a year.
What if he jerks off the whole time that he's being cleaned?
It was kind of making me think of that. Like, remember that Bill Murray character?
Yeah, they like to be hurt.
Yeah.
And the dentist movie, Seymour.
Yeah.
Feed Me Seymour.
Exactly. And he's the only person who's like into it, and he just gets off on the pain that he's getting. Because I fucking hate going to the dentist.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
Like it's really horrific to me. And even just a cleaning, it's just like I despise it.
You know what's funny is like you can't believe how much better. Nothing is improved like dental care in this country.
Yeah.
It used to be pretty vicious, and now it's like nothing. It used to be. By the way. We're just going to take a spike and start drilling it into your through your tooth, crack it, and then get it into your tongue.
Oh, Christ.
Be back. Let me stop everything else we're doing around here so we can clean up the blood. Chuck, Boston.
Yeah, they did remake Animal House. It was called Revenge of the Nerds.
You got those fuckers, didn't you? You fucking nailed those pricks. You got them. He got Revenge of the Nerds for not being fucking original enough.
You say that to Booger's face. I dare you.
He would never.
The Republicans, according to this, are rallying around embattled Sessions. Well, he's been in the Senate a long time. But I've never seen anything like this. He's just beating this fucking guy up.
I know. He really is intimidating him out of just, I mean, he's getting him to crack, right? I mean, that's pretty clear.
And he hired Sessions, right? Sessions was his pick.
Yes.
It's fucking insane.
It's not insane. It's the Trump way. Trump
new
is
world
doing
we're
very
living in.
fucking interesting stuff here.
Well, he's got the hats and everything. Look, there's him. There's Sessions putting on the hat.
Sessions was the first fucking guy with any power to back Trump. The first.
Yeah.
No one else did. The first person sitting in the Senate going, Trump would make a good guy.
It's weird that he didn't see how weak he was and how sad it would become.
Well, you know what? A lot of times guys are great and then they become weak and sad, and they have to be embattled. You got to embattle those fuckers when they do that.
Very weak.
Mm-hmm.
How normal does all of this seem now? Like months ago, we're going, this
Everything's
is pretty
normal to me now.
Yep.
Yeah. Just like an acid trip, you'll eventually stop freaking out and start going, okay, this is the reality I live in now.
Yeah, I've just become very comfortable with the whole thing.
Comfortably numb is what you're looking for.
100%. Like, there is nothing that you could, that's going to shock me that involves Trump that I could turn around and go, oh my God, I can't believe this happened.
Chris, would you say that you're comfortably numb?
I would say I'm comfortably numb.
With what?
The state of American politics.
When did it happen with you?
I would say maybe when there was a story that came out like a couple months ago about how they're trying to give him a tweet intervention and he refused.
Because he knows that's where his power comes from.
Yeah.
And just that everyone around him knows it's fucking crazy and he just refuses.
Or is it crazy? He's really fucking doing strong with it. I mean, when you say... Please turn this off. When you say that he knows more about it than the fucking people around him, I think he knows more about how to fucking do this shit than anybody.
And it is, how much has his approval rating
stayed the same?
It's the same,
the people who approved of Donald Trump still feel the same way.
Yeah.
They're not paying attention to all this stuff. They're not thrown off.
And I'm not sure what he would have to do. Like, what would be the thing that he would do that he would actually lose their support, you think? Because certainly, there were certainly things that he promised everybody that he hasn't delivered on, but it seems that either they're waiting on that or they have faith that that's something that's coming. Like, what would be the thing?
They love this.
Yeah.
They fucking love it. It's fun.
But
Nick loves this stuff. He loves a guy. Nick sees this as a guy who's not taking shit.
Yeah.
Anthony sees this as a guy who's not taking shit. You know what I mean? He's like, good, I'm glad he's fucking tweeting. I'm glad he's making these people sleepless at night. Let's go to Vito's mom. She voted for him, right?
Yeah, she voted for Trump.
Still likes him?
Yeah, and I ask her about it, and she really just says he's doing what needs to be done. I don't think she has a reason. I don't think she understands. I think a lot of people on that side, especially like my mom, who are like the people who kind of like, in my opinion, were tricked into it. Like, she doesn't pay attention to politics. She never really has. She heard a bunch of fake promises that sounded like something she would be into. And now she just still doesn't understand this stuff.
But I think also the thing that's interesting is maybe there's nothing that would really make them change their minds, because certainly you reference Nick and Anthony, and both of those guys are just interested in just how bizarre the thing is as well. They were just like, let's shake this up and do something different.
Let's do stuff like this, not stop tweeting.
Right.
Not stop attacking. Just fucking go for it.
So
that's what they wanted.
Even if you step back and go, oh, that was an unsuccessful presidency, they would go, well, it was successful in the way that he did things differently.
100% correct. 100%. Fucking always hilarious. All right, shall we take a break here, guys?
Yeah.
Right back. Bennington.
Give Bennington a ring at 844-ROCK-GOD.
It's the Bennington Show. Heading to Montreal tomorrow. Come up and see us if you're in the area. If not, follow along on the social media and over at the iBang. Gail, what's on your mind today?
Well, I just discovered that I have thalassophobia.
Let's say philosophophobia?
Thalassophobia.
Oh, I was going to say fear of philosophy.
Just fear of all things philosophy. No. Thalassophobia is the fear of deep water. So there was this article that they had done on BuzzFeed, and they do these a lot where they kind of put either an obscure fear, a lesser known fear, and they do a series of photographs and things that you're like, what is your anxiety level looking at these? I remember there was like an old one that was really bizarre because it was like people who are afraid of like textured things, like the way cantaloupe skin looks, or like like magnified
These
hair.
are weirdos.
And so that would be like how, on a scale of 1 to 10, how
You
much
have an
anxiety.
aunt that can't look at certain
Yes,
things.
that's exactly what it is. I don't even remember. It's a very weird, obscure phobia. But this one was specific to deep water.
Now, how deep are we talking? 15 foot?
We're talking like
100 feet.
Ocean like depths when it starts to go so dark that you can't see off into the distance. You cannot see in the distance, and it just goes into darkness.
But you know, you're a amount. I mean, you can be a mile deep in the ocean,
right?
But nobody's swimming a mile deep in the ocean,
right? But the thought, either the thought that it exists, or that you could be swimming somewhere, like the way that, say, somebody who would like scuba dive would be like swimming and then look out to the edge of the darkness of the water. And I think that might be, to me, the most terrifying thing I can think of.
Well, no matter where you are, I mean, you could be in the Caribbean, it's totally clear, and you could look off, and then, you know, at a certain point, you can't see. And that's where you get that doo-doo-doo-doo, and the fucking shark starts to come out of that.
It's like the fear of the unknown. So it's all these images.
I have a fear of the known.
I don't want to know this shit.
I don't like encyclopedias at all.
So there's a series of images, and one of them was a GIF of somebody doing like a free dive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've seen those.
And it is like a guy diving into the depth of the water.
Yeah.
From the edge, falling downward into blackness, and it's freaking me out.
But it's not black for him there. You know what I mean? Like, he could have a lantern or something. But those free dives are always done in the Mediterranean, and that's those guys that can go underwater without a tank for like 5 minutes or something.
But the fact that he's standing at the edge of this and just allowing himself to fall downward.
I think he's even have weights or something to be able to fall like that.
You've got to, right?
Yeah.
You've got to have like some like weighted on your suit somewhere.
This is a weird thing about me, and it's strange you bring it up, and I've never talked about this before. I'm incredibly afraid of shallow water. I can't be in like 1 or 2 inches of water.
Right.
Because then I'm like, what if I dive now?
Right.
Oh, my neck. You know?
Or you could get your socks wet.
Yeah, my socks could get wet. I dropped my car keys there. You know, anything could happen. Now, I mean, I get that. Look, I wouldn't say that I have your phobia, but I don't see it so much as a phobia because I would never dive off that thing into the abyss.
I'll put it into perspective.
Have you seen the movie The Abyss?
I have seen The Abyss. Terrifying.
Now, there's another one about these free divers, and it might even be an Italian film. It's called maybe Deep something, Deep Blue, Into the Deep Blue. Something like that I watched years ago. Because these guys will get like a bubble in their lung.
What?
Right? Yeah, they get bubble lungs. And any of that stuff can pop and go. Because they're not fucking doing anything but holding their breath. And they go down for minutes at a time, and they hold records.
It's crazy.
And I think it's Italians and Greeks who do it the most.
But there are like... Even some of the images of just people like swimming with whales, like I think it's a cool thing to do. It's like something I would like to be able to do in my life, but I cannot imagine swimming in deep water like near something.
All right, Chris, go. What was that next picture? Was that a plane underwater?
That's a plane underwater, which is like the way that. Yeah, I don't like that.
Go, keep going down. What's that?
That's
Plankton?
like no, that's just like a forest
underwater.
Yeah,
I don't like
underwater.
that. I remember when I was a kid in the carnival, we were out in Wisconsin, and we swam out. I'm only like about fucking 10 or something, and we swam out to this this platform that they had put up in the middle of the lake, and there was a diving board on it. And I was out there with my older brother, and I'm like, this is fucking great. And I dove and went down into the thing, and there was just seaweed all around me, and I come fucking out like a motherfucker. He's like, what? I go, there's something down there, and he's cracking me up. He's like, it's a lake, what could be down there? And then he dives in. He's like, that's fucking disgusting. These people swim in this. He was just like annoyed with it, but like I was like, oh man, what if that seaweed would have fucking held on to me, you know? So after that, every dive was the shallowest dive. Like I was going off a diving board and going like 8 inches into the water and coming right back up. Like, did I hit anything?
Don't touch me.
I didn't like the gunky seaweed.
There's also an image on there, Chris, where it's like a guy holding onto like a giant propeller of a boat, like underneath. I don't know what it is about that picture. Like, even if that's fake, I can't even look at that. That's so fucked up.
Your cousin Bobby, when he was working in Hawaii, like as a tour thing, like he was taking like paddle trips. What do you call that? Fucking kayak
trips.
Taking people all around the island, right? And they would go out on this thing, and he would go down with the anchor, right? He would hold on to the anchor and let it take him all the way down.
Holy shit!
And just have a mask on, right? So he said he takes it all the way down, and he's swimming back up, and he looks over, and this whale had come, right, and had rolled over on its back with its belly up, just looking at the boat. And he saw a whale staring at the boat from there. Here's Mike in Jersey.
Yeah, Ronnie, the movie that you were thinking about is called The Big Blue with Sean Reno in it. It's all about those free divers, the competition.
I guess now what I'm thinking of, Mike, send you into the pretty good prize closet.
Yeah! Ow!
Hey, Brian, what's up? Brian.
Ronnie.
Yeah.
Ronnie, can you hear me?
Yes. I'm using phones.
Yeah. I have a friend that I work with, and he's about 38. His wife's good-looking lady, about 25 years of age, and they were out on a boat, and his hat blew off. They were out in the middle of the ocean, deep sea fishing. Her hat blew off, and he dove off the boat and swam and got her hat. Yeah. The captain was furious with him.
No, I don't blame, because the captain could fucking be in, big insurance company for a guy going off of his fucking boat. That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, he said by the time he turned the boat around to get back to him, he said he almost drowned. He said, "This is a strong guy, He
right.
He fucked up, really."
Wow.
You know what? The only bad part of this story is that he lived. I would have loved to have it a cautionary tale for children that this man drowned looking for this. One time we were out skiing in the bay, and somebody had thrown a shirt. They were trying to throw it to another person. It was my shirt that I borrowed from somebody's back when we used to silk screen shirts. So they're all one of a kind.
Mm-hmm.
And it went off the fucking boat and just started going straight down. So I dove in after it, and it's that bay that you've known your whole life.
Yeah.
And within probably 8-10 feet, I'm in total darkness. Like, it's just fucking black, fucking dead water. And I was fucking I was like a bullet heading to the top of it.
No, I don't like this shit. It's too fucking much for me to think about.
It gave me this is the thing. It gave me a scare, but I headed back to the boat and didn't let on a fucking thing about it. I was just like, I don't know.
Whatever.
Fucking it's down there. You can't see it. I was like, how can you? It's down there. And I go, it isn't. Just pull me into the fucking boat for the darkness grabs me. You're a fucking idiot. All right, here's Kurt wants to help us with this a little bit. Kurt, what's up?
Hey, Gail, I too did not know that I had a fear of diving into the abyss, so I had to research on why they don't need to have any additional weight to dive down further. When you get to a certain point in the water, to a certain depth, the water pressure exceeds the buoyancy of the human body. So when you get to that point, going up, down, sideways, it doesn't make a difference. It's just going to carry you in whichever direction you propel yourself, so they can keep going and going and going.
Oh, that's bizarre. So that's just from the force of him making the leap.
Yes.
Once you get to a certain point, it starts to go down, and it has nothing to. It has nothing to do with how fast you're shot down there. It just starts to pull you down because there's water on top of you.
Yeah, so how much air you have in your body or the oxygen in your blood or whatever you have, the pressure is exceeding that. So whichever way you propel yourself, you're going to continue in that direction. It's as close to weightlessness as we will ever get on the planet.
Kurt, here's what we're going to do. We're going to send you out there to have you do that and report back to us.
On my way.
Yeah. And then we'll use that liquid oxygen thing that they did in the abyss. That scene always fucking disgusted me.
Yeah, it's almost like amniotic fluid, and they fill up his helmet with amniotic fluid. Then he has to choke through it, like almost like a reverse
And then once
birth.
you can, you start to breathe.
Yeah, it's fucking disgusting.
There you have it. It's fucking disgusting. Dutch, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Benningtons.
Hey.
And Mr. Monopoly over there.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, my when I was a kid, we would go crabbing in Jersey, and my father, to his credit, rather than the traditional throwing a trap overboard, that wasn't good enough. He would make me wade through the weedy bay water where you couldn't see anything and kick out the crabs and then scoop them up with lacrosse nets. And he knew how terrified I was of the murky water because you couldn't see, and it was chest deep.
Yeah.
And the one time we were doing it, I'm not paying attention, and he just yells out, "Oh, my God, look out," and throws a piece of driftwood at me. I thought it was a shark, so I did my only defense, which was to pass out and black out underwater, only to not figure out how to get up because I'm under the murky water with the weeds and everything. He basically pulled me up and threw me in the boat. That was the funniest thing ever.
You didn't know which way was up once you came out
Once
of your
my head went underwater, I was literally, my head was underwater, and that was it. Like, you know, and the whole thing about, well, just blow bubbles and follow the bubbles up, and that's the way to go. You couldn't tell.
Not in
You
the
just couldn't tell.
Yeah. And you got that from Officer and a Gentleman, too, to blow the bubbles. Now,
Yeah,
as you get
that's what my dad
everything.
taught me my life lessons. Officer and a gentleman.
is your father still alive?
Yes, he is. My father is 84. He was a defense instructor for the Marine Corps, and I still wouldn't touch him to this day.
Give it a couple years. Give it a
I'm
couple
waiting.
years.
I'm waiting until he's in a wheelchair, and then I got him.
You're there on his deathbed.
Now you'll know what it feels like.
On his deathbed. Not so fucking tight now, are you, old man?
Just chuck
You
him
were
into the
fucking
water.
raised by the great Santini.
You have no idea. My life, I watch The Great Santini. It's like watching a home movie.
You know what? Pretty good prize closet, Dutch. I'm in that mood today. Dusty! In Alabama, Dusty.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Cool, man.
Hey, I'm not a real good swimmer to begin with.
Don't sound like it.
I was in the South Caribbean on a cruise, and we went on a little excursion on a booze cruise. So we were on this smaller boat. The guy comes on with a little speedboat pulling an inner tube. Get on that thing. We're going around. He takes us back to our little boat, and I jump off maybe 100 yards, and I jumped off and swallowed a little water, and I thought I was going to drown. It was everything I could do to get back to the booze cruise boat without drowning.
You know, it's really funny because
Swimming for my life.
You know, you always tell people not to panic, but if you've ever snorkeled before, you can be in 5 feet of water, take that water in, like sometimes you make a mistake and it just shoots down the snorkel, and you just feel like I'm already, there's enough water in my throat that I will die.
Yeah.
I mean, you would panic even if you were on land. You know, it's just a fucking terrible feeling.
So drunk.
I went
Can't swim and swallows water.
Smart
I
that
thought I was dead for.
I thought if I couldn't swim, I would never be on a booze cruise.
Yeah, it seems not good. I went snorkeling in Mexico, and I literally just used like the floaties and just stayed at the top because I don't understand. I really don't understand how you go snorkeling, like when you go underwater and then you shoot the water.
Yeah, the water's not going to come down when you're in that, but as soon as you come up, you got to blow before you start to breathe in.
Right.
And it's hard to remember, or you think you've done enough, so you take in some salt water, which is not like taking in like water from a glass.
Right.
But people are like, I tried, I can't snorkel. Snorkeling, like anything else, you have to do for a while before it feels normal.
Right.
But if you get that little skill and you're on a reef, it's one of the most, I mean, it's closest to doing drugs of anything that you'll ever have. I mean, it's such an experience.
And because I've always been so like nervous about swimming out in deep water, I never thought it was something I could do.
Or would do.
Yeah, ever. And then when I did it, even though I was just like chilling at the top, but just like watching like tropical fish and like there was fucking moray eels. It was
unbelievable.
crazy. It was really, really intense. And I was glad that I did it. But like later I was just like, if I really would have like let it sink in, because it wasn't just like, you know, off the shore. Like we went out in a boat fucking nowhere. It was crazy. It really was intense.
I remember when I was a kid, when I would be at a pet store or even an aquarium, I'd be like, oh man, I would love to be in there. You feel so good. And then when you're fucking actually snorkeling and shit, you're like, I'm in a fucking fish tank. I'm a grown man in a fish tank. Let me, and the phobia of water, it does exist in a lot of people, which is weird because there's 3/4 of this planet is water. So you're afraid of 75% of the planet. Our friend Crazy Jen will not be near the water. Just can't do it. Says she hasn't been further than her ankles in the water in 30 years. 30 years. And then last week she was at some yoga, you know, she does the yoga new age things. And they decided she needed to break through that. And she went into the water to her neck. And when, you know, she wrote to me, she was like, I know it's not a big deal to you, but I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and anyone was phobia. When it feels like you're going to be in fire up to your neck, it's a big fucking deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but that's an amazing story, right? She was able
awesome.
to do it. Went up to her neck.
That is so awesome. I'm glad that she did it.
Here's our friend Queen Elizabeth. Hey, Queen.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Gail.
Hiya.
When my dad swam like a fish, and he taught me and my brothers all how to swim and everything. But my mom has a terrible phobia. Well, when I was about 8, he took us out to this lake in Jersey, and me and him are on this raft, and we're just sitting there, and of course I'm 8, I'm babbling away to him, and we're just kind of drifting, you know. And I looked down at one point, and I didn't realize how far we drifted out. I mean, obviously my dad knew, but like in my little 8-year-old head, we were like in the middle of the ocean because everyone was so far away on the shore. And I look down and I can't see the bottom. And Gail, I know what you're talking about, that deep black water.
Yeah.
And I was like, and my dad's like, no, honey, it's fine. And I'm like, oh, well, you know, my dad's not going to let me drown. But, and we, you know, we eventually went back, but that sticks out in my head so starkly, that how helpless I felt, because I could swim, but like that's a whole nother ballpark. Like,
you know what else is weird too is like if you're at the beach and you think that your kids have gone out too far. And you're just like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? You're just going crazy. You're swimming out to the raft. You're pulling it back in there. Like, why?
Yeah. It's funny because we just went to the shore, me and my daughter, and I took her down to the beach. And I'm like, well, honey, why don't you go in the ocean, you know? She goes, oh, this is all disgusting. Like,
I know a lot of people.
Just go to the pool.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's sand everywhere, and she was just totally diva down at the beach.
I knew this when I was young, and I forgot this to this moment. But this girl I knew when I was younger, incredibly hot girl, the girl, and she's wearing an incredibly hot bikini. She's killing it, but swimming around the ocean in fucking sneakers with that, like you're ruining this whole fucking effect. She goes, I'm not putting my feet down on that. I won't do it.
When I was when I was about 6, I went to Bermuda with my grandparents, and the water down there is just it's like crystal clear.
Chris, there's a video. Try it. It might be on Dig, but it's something like little girl sees the earth as lava or something like that. It's really fucking funny.
The floor is lava?
Something. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck it is, Chris. I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm going to look for it.
Classic game.
I thought it was on Dig. It might be on something else. Hey, thanks so much.
No problem.
Queen, talk to you later.
Bye, Queen.
All right. Bye.
Let me see her.
This isn't a girl yet. That was a dog.
It's like a little black girl being held by her dad. It's adorable. Our old buddy Frank in the Bronx. Hey, Frank.
What's up, team? How are you?
Long time, pal. What's happening?
Too long. Listen, I've been out there in the freaking, what they call the canyons when we went fishing once.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah, we're going to go from 200 feet of water to 8,000. I said, what?
Yeah.
And it didn't even have to show me. We went close. Right away, I started doing that. I was thinking of the movie with the circles. God damn it! I was losing my fucking mind, though. I was losing my mind. But the best part about it was I dove in and we were able to deal with it. But I shit my pants, man. I shit my pants. First thing I said, we're gonna need a bigger fucking boat.
Yeah, it's good. That's fucking
Very
good.
shit, man.
All right, catch you later.
One other thing. Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, my grandfather used to take me on one of those little boats, to go clamming. Because back in the day, Long Island had good clamming.
Unbelievable, yeah.
I didn't like that shit. I was scared of the water. He's like, no, you come, you just helping me. That's all. You don't have to even go. Awesome. We get out over there, and he's fucking hit the mother load. He's like, listen, you got to come out of the boat. You got to help your grandpa. No fucking way. No way. He goes, okay, help Grandpa out of the boat. Help Grandpa back in the boat. He pulls my ass in. I'm getting eaten by fucking horseshoe crabs, but we got 9 sacks of fucking clams that day, baby.
Beautiful.
That was when my fear began.
See it.
Love hearing it.
Look who it is. It's Hard Rock Johnny.
Johnny.
First of all, I've never heard anyone kicking crabs out of the water and having someone else catch them with a lacrosse net. I don't think I've ever seen that before, and I am the crabbing expert.
You are Mr. Krabby.
Well, I've done the thing where you, by the way, where's our friend?
I don't know.
She's running late, I was told.
Okay.
Okay. Amy Miller stopping by today before she leaves town. Where's she going? Johnny, did you ever go along with the inner tube and the bushel in it, though?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then you have this long net and you catch them like that.
Yeah.
We used to do this thing called seining, and you would take this like a 30 or a 40-foot net, and you'd beach your boat. You'd get out, and someone would post a net, and then the person would walk out 20, 30 feet. Then you'd turn in, and you just drag the net along the bottom of the water, and you'd pick up everything and anything, crabs, clams, fish, all that kind of stuff. I would do this when I was like 14, 15. If you asked me to do that now, I would have to wear sneakers, and I would be fucking petrified. I think I've gotten more scared of the water as I've gotten older. Like that fear of, like, we used to play football in the lagoon by our house. Now I got to wear water shoes if I go in the water because I get scared over there. Yeah, it's weird.
But are you worried about cutting your foot, or are you worried about something fucking reaching out of the depths and grabbing you?
There's something grabbing me. No, I don't care about cutting my foot. I'm worried about...
Because I'm more worried about cutting my foot. You know what I mean?
No, not that.
Because I used to, and this is a true story, between the fucking last day of school and the first day of school, I don't wear fucking shoes. Up until I was like in high school. I'm not even fucking making that up.
Yeah.
I go into a fucking bar barefoot. My fucking feet, I used to put cigarettes out on my fucking feet as like a funny joke, right? Now, I got fucking, seriously, I've got feet like a baby's vagina. Literally like a newborn's vagina. I couldn't rub a goddamn thing of peanut butter across the bottom of it without getting cut.
It's certainly not crunchy.
Yeah. All right, Johnny.
Later, Bennington.
God bless you. Jeez. God bless you, Johnny. Johnny collects. He's got a collection of old pants that he has.
That's interesting. That's unique. I don't think a lot of people collect old pants.
Gail got us talking about phobias, and Chris, you put up, because a lot of people have rat phobia, you put up a rat video up on the iBank.
Yeah, this was a giant rat found on U Street in D.C., and it's the biggest fucking rat I've seen in my entire life.
Is that right?
Yeah, I've never seen a rat bigger than this.
Are you sure it's a rat, not a dog?
It's a rat. It is not a dog. A dog does not have a tail like this. This is a giant rat.
That doesn't scare me. It looks like a groundhog. I don't know why people are so afraid of rats.
Rats have never bothered me.
It's because of the rat face. It's just very menacing, a rat face.
I think they are kind of cute.
They look like
they're mammals.
Like they look like a chipmunk.
Like I have that weird things. Like people are always like, "Oh my god, a mouse," and then they freak out. But I'm like, it's just a little mammal. I mean, would you run from like a little kitten?
But they're like diseased.
You say that, but they're not.
Yeah,
you know who carries the most diseases?
What is that?
Men.
No. They're
Also,
disgusting.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like I've seen a rat bigger than that in the subway. I mean,
definitely not.
I'm telling you, I
didn't
saw
go
a rat.
running around. Yeah, I've seen some big fucking rats in the subway, and I didn't go around going, "Oh, how I can get this on the iBank? Get everybody to fucking like me for it."
I think it was me and my brother. I think it's like one of like the Fort Greene train stations. Late at night,
All
this
fucked
fucking rat comes by that literally we had to look at each other and be like, was that actually a rat? Because to me, it looked like it was
something
like a raccoon, like the size of like a raccoon, but it was
But
just
why
a
are
rat.
people afraid of raccoons? They have every bit as much as a fucking rat. People are like, "Oh, can I touch this raccoon?" No one ever says, "Is it bad if I touch this rat?"
Yeah, I like them.
No, they're fucking horrifying.
And they get a lot of bad attention because of that tail. What's wrong with the tail? I think it's fine.
There's no fur on it. It's just weird, nasty
It's
skin.
leathery. It's a leathery tail. I mean, out of all the tails, it's not a cute one. You know what I mean?
But it is the tail that we would have probably. Like if humans had a tail, I bet we would have a skinless rat tail.
Oh,
I think just the opposite. I think it would just be like skin with fucking. It was almost like consider a long, thin penis.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the skin, but no fur. Like it's not like we'd have like a bushy,
No, we
happy
would not
little
have a bushy
hat.
tail. We would have a tail of skin.
Yeah,
And don't they say like that tailbone is where our tails used to be?
yeah, that's where it came from.
That's fucking strange.
That we used to just have
The
a
only
nice
thing is,
rat
like,
tail.
I wouldn't mind having it so I could put it on the back of a balcony and I could look down a little bit and still know that I'm holding on properly.
Right. Like it would be nice to like maybe use it to sleep upside down or something.
Well, we got into phobia talk earlier, and Vito was telling me that your biggest phobia is work. You don't want to be around it or do it.
Yeah, I just don't like any of it, and like I'm looking forward to this vacation we're going on this week.
Jesus.
Oh no!
Forgot that when he does that. Guess what? You after the last vacation, you are borderline on this being your last vacation.
No, don't.
And no, I'm not even fucking around. If you do what you do last time, you're not going with us again. Watching other people and saying you're having a great time is not what this is about.
That won't happen. Ever.
We'll see. We will see. But I feel good that I've warned him.
You have made it clear at this point.
Because about, like, he had something due on a Saturday last time, and about 2 months later he comes, I got that thing done. I go, why would I want to promote something for 2 months ago? He goes like this. Well, I just wanted to make sure I got it to you. I go, don't treat this like it's a good thing. It's a bad, what you're done is very bad.
Will you give him extra credit for it?
And you know what's funny? I had forgotten about it. I was like, at the time I was pissed that he didn't do it, but he reminded me of it 2 months later. The fact that he didn't know, forget it. You're not going this time.
No, don't do it. Please don't.
I mean, Jen already took you off the schedule.
First of all, no one should want to go do work. And the fact that you're saying please don't means that you're going to be using the hotel pool and the fucking steam and all that shit, not doing work.
I won't ever be in the hotel pool.
I don't believe you.
I'm not. I don't have the body confidence to hang out at the hotel
Also,
pool.
no per diem for him.
Got it. I'm gonna let that.
You want to be there, you be there starving.
I'm gonna get the word out. No per diem for Vito Fuck.
They'll know what it means.
Yeah. And you love Big Brother, right?
Yeah, I do love Big Brother.
You're going to stay in your room and we're taking the TV out. So you can't see anything from the outside world. And then we'll bring you out 4 days later and we'll give you a test on the last 4 days' news to see how you do.
Well, that doesn't seem like a Big Brother thing. I mean, if you tested me on what's in the house.
I got word that Amy Miller got on the wrong train and she'll be.
I just got the text too with panic face emoji and pure sadness face emoji.
That's hilarious, though. The wrong train.
Yeah.
Where was she going? Brooklyn?
I'm not sure which direction she was in, but I just.
Well, don't say she doesn't have to come in if she feels like she's going the wrong way.
Yeah, tell her you can go your own way.
You can go your own way on the train. That'll make it sound like you're fucking mad at it. Just go your own way then.
Send her a YouTube link to the song, though. That'll even it out.
I don't think so. Don't panic.
All right, Vito, let's hear what you're plugging so I can see whether your head's in the game. What are you plugging?
Well, Friday night, we have Comedy 101 at JFL at the Mainline Theater at 11 p.m. with your comedians Jim Norton, Dan Soder, and Jimmy Schubert. Go to the ibang.com to get tickets. And the new episode of Big Brothers is up on the iBang, where me and Chris got to talk to Glenn Garcia from Big Brother 18. And Gail Meets Girls is up on the iBang, new episode with Michelle Buteau and Emily Tarver. Bennington is on from noon to 3, Monday through Friday.
So he forgot to plug the HBO gig.
Oh, God.
Instead, I'm hearing about. I'm still hearing him talk about Big Brothers. And what's the story with you guys wanting? You're all fucking loading up at the same time when you're doing your thing. Why are you guys on the same day, just about, or the day after? Knocks Gail off the top of the pike because these guys come right behind you.
I don't know. How do you mean?
On the iBangs promotion of your things.
Oh, yeah.
This week we moved just because the Battle Back and the HOH wasn't up yet, and there was nothing on the feeds. So Friday there wasn't enough to talk about. So we moved it to Monday.
Dude, listen. I'm a fan, and you never have enough to talk about. I'm like, why are they talking about this?
We want to let everyone know how cool Kevin is.
There was some really informative stuff about Glenn.
Glenn was great.
Glenn
was a really good get. I'm not going to lie.
He was really good.
Love Glenn. Like being a friend for life.
And I feel like I have a lot of questions answered about the process.
Yeah.
Because, you have a conversation with somebody who's been on the show, they make it to the end. You're going to talk about everything that happens in the house. This was literally finding out what exactly goes down when you're even asked to be on the show.
Yeah.
And the process. And the, what is it called? When they have them in isolation? Sequester. I don't think I could take that shit. I mean, I really don't think
to me, look, when I listened, I said this. First of all, when I watch it, I'd rather see them out next to the pool. People are in their bikinis, and there's always, they're playing games, and it's much more interesting when you're watching. So that's where they do the other stuff, right?
Yeah, the competitions.
Why won't they just put a thing on the other side, competition side, so they can build and people can go out to the pool?
Yeah, it's because they're obsessed with these gigantic sets that I guess just for the production value of having a giant frog out there and turning the whole backyard into a set. But I agree. I mean, it sucks to be in lockdown, and the only good thing about a lockdown is that it gets everybody in the house in one room a lot, and then you'll sometimes get more altercations because of that.
I disagree.
I think it's crazy. I think, why not just have that be a separate backyard that has nothing to do with it?
And altercations aren't all that much fun to me anyway, because they normally have chilled back down by the time you have it. I like secret time.
Yeah.
Saying that those two people are still isolating this week, even though they swore they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Like they know it's bad for their game, and they're picking a short romance over. And they're like, hey, even if we go to Jory, we'll be alone at Jory. The fuck are you talking about? You're going to have $500,000. You two could be alone for a year. And they know it's not going to last because she's a professional fucking escort, right?
She is a VIP concierge.
So, yes.
Yeah, so that's a professional escort.
100%.
Yeah, she said she was talking about
clean Marine
with child.
He's with child?
He has a kid?
Yeah, he has a kid.
Oh, I thought you were saying he was with someone who was pregnant.
Oh, no. He has a child. That's who he said don't be a beta to when he got evicted from the house.
Yeah, weird message to
Chris,
your kid.
This is why you couldn't find it. It's on Twitter.
It's on Twitter.
Yeah, somebody sent it through Twitter. All right, why would Amy Miller tweet, I don't think this is that funny, guys, that we laughed at? She was, how is she listening to us underground? It's funny to us to think someone would get on the wrong train. It's not that you're lost. But getting on the wrong train here is like saying in the country, I was on the wrong lane. That's why I was hit by a truck. Somebody also tweeted asking if that giant rat is Dan. Now, is he not allowed to come anymore, or he doesn't want to?
I heard he was not allowed. That's what I heard.
Because he couldn't trust himself, or he couldn't trust me?
He couldn't trust himself. It's self-control problems.
Clearly.
I know who sent that to me is TR, but I don't have that thing right now. I want you guys to see this little kid.
I know. I want to see.
I'm looking for this kid. I'm looking for this floor is lava. A lot of people just tweeting about how fat I am.
Why?
That's just mean. I don't know.
Why would you put your name in there?
Why did it come up? You search Chris Stanley fat. That's what's going to come up.
No, just add Bennington show.
Okay, now I'm being told it's on YouTube.
Okay.
This is a fool's errand.
There's a lot of floor is lava videos.
Well, I got it from, let's say, oh, you haven't even got there yet.
I'm at YouTube.
You know what? You're lucky you're doing it at all.
I can't believe he had to go through the Twitter and then find out that's all anyone tweets about.
Jesus Christ. I know I have a weight issue.
This is Gail's mom, and I might as well be saying, could you take a pair of pliers and pull your molar out and mail it to us? It's the same thing. I don't want to be a fucking Dan rat here, but this is...
My God.
She just said, look on YouTube.
Chris, are you looking?
I'm searching floor is lava daughter.
Well, first of all, there's nothing lava about it, but they for some reason, the tweet said that.
Is this it?
Yes, this is it. Now, I want you to see this.
Nice.
And send this to Bennington right now before we even do it so some people can tweet it out.
So people didn't go through what we went through just now.
We got that molar, ladies and gentlemen. Good news for everybody. It wasn't a baby tooth. It was a real one.
All right, that's sent over.
All right, so it doesn't mean that they have it yet, right? It's not up yet?
No, it's not up yet, but it was sent over just now.
All right, so this guy is holding... Now, how old would you say this baby is?
1.
2.
I'm bad at figuring out how old kids are.
I was going to say it's younger than 1.
Yeah.
It's like not talking yet.
Right.
So her dad has her, and he's back in a really beautiful backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, rough grass. And go ahead.
Maybe you want to play in the grass? Come on. You're not gonna get in the grass?
She is not old enough to answer him.
You're not
knows
messing with that grass, huh?
she doesn't want to sit in that grass. I fucking died at this.
Oh my God.
Now, do you remember
now that I see her, she's
a baby.
Yeah, she's like months. I'm never good at this, but I'm gonna go 7 months.
I have no problem. 7 to 9 months. 2 years old. He's always in trouble.
No.
Dude, look at that maneuver she's able to do.
No, she has the legs of a gymnast. Now, here's the thing. I don't know whether you ever get this feeling, but like just seeing that baby, and it just makes me want to grab her and start running and have the father chase me.
I know. This happens to me a lot in
I don't know
restaurants.
whether I would stay that happy with that baby, but I feel like I would probably be the best person. Because I'd be just constantly trying to put her in grass.
Look at this trick that she
Everybody
can
would be
do.
laughing and applauding. She doesn't like grass.
We'll make you famous.
No, we were talking about swimming in deep water. Jen grew up in Trinidad, Tobago area, and she used to dive for quarters off the cruise ships. They would just throw quarters.
Nice.
When I was down in the islands, people were doing that, and little kids were diving for them in a deep harbor that was deep enough for a cruise ship. And people were like, throw them quarters. You know, that's how they earn their money. I go, I'll just wait till I get off the boat and give them quarters.
Yeah.
Not going to make them go down.
They might drown this way.
They were so little.
Yeah, that seems a little...
And they would come up like waving the quarters, and the fucking people would clap.
Ah, they did it.
They pulled it off.
This is weird because it looks like, and I'm following her GPS, Amy Miller is in upstate right now, almost Poughkeepsie.
No, Amy.
What train
You're
did she
going the
get
wrong
on?
way again, Amy.
Metro North?
Damn it, Amy.
Ooh,
Where in the world is Amy Miller?
All right, 10 shows you absolutely can't miss at JFL is up. Jen, you're in. We don't know whether Vito's going. Let's have a vote. Jen, do you say yes or no?
Yes.
Chris?
No.
Gail?
Am I tiebreaker?
No, I'm going to be the tiebreaker.
Okay, I'll go yes then.
Then no. So the tie is not broke. I guess the tiebreaker will be Vito. All right, so read us off one at a time.
It's Ari Shafir's renamed storytelling show, and that is the title of the show.
Now, anybody who's followed this story know that Ari has done this storytelling show. It ended up on Comedy Central. Then he sold a couple of specials to Netflix, and Comedy Central replaced him.
Yes.
This is a show I'm going to. I'll be there. Does it say who's going to be there?
Lineup to be announced.
Okay, great.
The Nasty Show, which is on every night at 9:30 in Montreal.
Yes.
Love it. We'll be there, yes.
The New Faces Unwrapped on Wednesday and Thursday.
I don't like new people, and I don't care whether they succeed or not. I like
So this
the
is
old
not
people.
the show for you.
I'm comfortable with the old people. I don't want any new friends. I want my old friends. Yeah, this is like the fun show to see because you can see somebody's life change.
Yes.
And that's terrific.
And then the Colin Jost and Michael Che Gala on Wednesday.
Very cool.
That should be good. I'm supposed to see them in another secret show, though.
Ooh.
And on that will be...
Why, which one do you like, Jen?
I like Colin.
Yeah.
Che.
Yeah, I'm more Che, too. The fact that they're together is nice.
And then Jeff Ross and David Tell of their show Bumping Mics. They're going to be on stage together.
I don't know what happens or how they're doing this, whether they're the world's newest comedy team, but I love the idea of it, and they're great. So yes,
Big J Ogerson's What's Your Fucking Deal every night at midnight.
Obviously.
Going to this, and I'm going to be in that show Thursday night.
Nice.
So let me just try it with you guys as like a little thing.
Okay.
Hi, what is your name, sir?
Chris.
Chris, and Chris, what's your fucking deal?
Well, I work for Sirius XM.
You can't lie. You have to tell the truth.
No, that is the truth. I work there.
Do you work there, or they just pay you?
Well, they pay me, and I believe I work there. I believe
you're wrong.
Oh God. I guess my
Gee,
deal
this
sucks.
show doesn't seem so good.
Seems mean spirited, actually.
I think the weak link is me and the audience on this one. What's your next fucking deal?
Andy Kindler's Stay in the Industry. That's Friday at 1:45 p.m.
Very
I will
popular.
Definitely be there.
Yes.
I'm going to find out the whole. Who's he going to take down, Peg, this year? Who had a big year in comedy? All right, I know he's going to go after Kevin Hart.
Yeah, you've got to go with Kevin Hart. He's the biggest star in comedy right now.
And I also think he's going to be mean to Jimmy Fallon.
Mm-hmm. Maybe Dave Chappelle for having the double special big year that he had.
I think I'll stay away from Chappelle.
Physically, yeah.
I don't think he wants any part of Chappelle. I think I'll give this whole Donald Trump the whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
What about Amy Miller being lost on a train?
That will come up.
Amy, I'm sorry. I feel so
I
terrible.
feel
for her.
bad too. Where was she coming in from?
I think she was coming from Brooklyn.
Yeah, she's at a game at Shea right now. How did that happen? It's the old Shea.
Wow.
She's saying the 86 series.
And then the next show is Homegrown Comics. That's Canadian comedians.
You know what? I like to see the local boys.
Yeah.
Hopefully Justin's part of that show.
Locals
we
only.
never heard of Justin at all. This whole thing he was supposed to call us. All right, what's next?
Russell Peters' Old School Mixtape. That's Thursday night.
So we already said we're going to that one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
With Knowing by Nature and Melly Mel.
100%.
And the Comedy 101 on Friday at 11:30.
Thank God we made it. I didn't know we were going to. That's me raising the roof right there for some reason.
I like it.
And Gail with longer hair than you have now. Huh?
I know.
That's it.
And then the goddamn Comedy Jam at the Plaza. That's Saturday at 9:15 p.m.
We're going to be there 9:15
Yes.
Saturday.
100%. I'm going to make every one of
our
these shows.
responsibilities will be done by then. We can relax.
We'll be smoking, drinking.
And I'll be like, relax your crack and just enjoy yourself. That's it, Chris?
That's it, yeah.
Seems like there should be more things to do.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, somebody was lying.
Jerry Seinfeld is going to be performing with Gad Elmaleh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, at the Bell Center on Wednesday.
Hmm.
And then
You can ring my bell, ring my bell.
Auntie Donna, the Australian sketch group that came in. They're gonna be there.
I love those guys.
They were really funny.
I think the iBank's going to do yet another thing with them.
And then Todd Barry's hosting the Masters Series nightly.
What's the Masters Series about?
That's well, Jimmy Stewart will be performing there as well.
Oh, cool.
Well, what is it about? I know that they're performers. Is it just doing stand up?
It's
just Masters doing 15 minutes.
Yeah, Masters. There's showcase from the Masters.
Well, good. I'll go with Bat Masterson.
So that's just a rebuttal to the new faces.
Yes,
the Masters.
Yes, Master Faces. They should do Master Blasters.
And Robert Kelly's going to be doing. You know what, dude?
I'm going to be doing that too with him.
It's Thursday at 4:30.
Is that the only day he's doing it?
Yes, that's the only day he's doing it.
I believe Ari's on that show.
That'll be fun.
You kidding? Us together? Montreal, forget about it.
Reunion.
Yeah. I haven't seen those guys since a couple weeks ago.
And the Bonfire will be taping an episode Wednesday night.
Was not asked to be part of that. As a matter of fact, was told to stay the fuck away.
That's when
where are they doing those things? In the little room where we did a mess?
I don't think it's in that exact room. What
exact room is it? Because what I want to know is exact places.
I don't have the exact room name.
Why?
But it'll be on that floor in the Hyatt Hotel.
So you have the exact floor, you're telling me, and not the exact room.
I don't have it.
So tell me how you found out the floor, Chris.
Well, there's multiple rooms on a
You know
floor.
what's fun? This is why you ruined my what's your fucking deal. Because what you're doing now could not be called working.
And Paul Provenza will be doing an episode of Green Room.
This is Chris if he was worked in a car rental place. I don't know the exact car that you have, but I believe these keys may fit one of them. Or it's a house key in my aunt's house. Chris, you fucked with the wrong guy this time, Kimasabi.
I never wanted to fuck with you.
Why?
I don't want to fuck with me.
I thought you were trying to make your fucking bones. You know? I thought this was your thing.
Today's the day, Chris?
Yeah, today's the day.
No, it's not.
Today's the day that high society becomes your solo fucking show.
Oh, shit. I'm getting fired.
Where's your friend Chris cooking at?
He was in charge of the kitchen at Dutch Kills in New York City, which was in Queens.
Mm-hmm.
But that they parted ways.
Let him go. Somebody got caught stealing kitchenware.
No one was stealing.
Guy, you go to his house, he has 800 fucking butcher knives. This can't go on like this.
These are really good tongs that I have.
So wait, he was in charge of what? The oven?
The kitchen at Dutch Kills, the cocktail bar.
But what does that mean he's in charge of the kitchen?
He's running, he created the menu, he was doing the cooking, he was...
Yeah, but it seems like that's what you would call chef.
Are you a head chef? Or are we talking...
He was the head chef.
Are you talking the, what is it, like the expediter?
The head chef.
All right, so I'm at the stand the other night. I said to a young man, what do you do for a living? He goes, I'm a chef. I go, where? Here in town? And he goes, no. I go, where? And he says, Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. I go, then you're not a chef, you're a cook.
Make the fries, do you?
All fucking laughed at him. Paul Provenza's green room was going to be there?
Yeah, it is on Saturday at 9:30.
Oh, Saturday. I'm open then, right?
Yes.
Who's all in green room?
It's to be announced. There's not a list yet of who's going to be on it.
I love Paul Provenza.
He's great.
Giant fan. Thanks for backing me up on that one, Chris.
You're welcome.
Well. Jay in Bakersfield has more information than my own so-called producer. Jay, what do you have?
Yeah, that thick-tongued prick, Chris, and does not do his research correct. The people that are going to be on Ari Shaffir's new renamed storytelling show are Jimmy Carr, Brian Callen, Ali Sadiq, and Tom Segura.
Wow!
Ooh, I'm going to that.
What a show, what a night. Chris was wrong once again.
I was wrong. I was incorrect.
All right, thanks. Jack, guess what? I got a news story for you. You're going to hear about it in the Pretty Good Prize Club.
Yeah! Don't prize me up with this piece.
We got JOI on the phone. That, of course, stands for Justin, our intern.
Joy?
Justin.
Yo, guys, what's up?
You tell me, pal. We sent you out to do a little reconnaissance. What's happening in Montreal?
Oh, nothing much, man. The city's actually, the weather's beautiful. Like, I know there's been shit weather reports, but right now it's fucking awesome. So, Jen, pack your good shit.
Oh. Jen will be going in a string bikini. And then her other change,
for you.
her other change is a string one piece.
This is just a string.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll be going to the Nasty show tonight. So I'll let you guys know how it's playing out.
Yeah.
Don't let it get too nasty.
Now, what
You're a
is your
clean boy.
first assignment with Jeff Gurian?
I think he's going to be going to New Faces as well. So I think we're going to tag team and do this event at the same time. So yeah, it should be interesting.
That should be exciting. It should be exciting with the two of you. New lovers.
Oh yeah, me and Jeff are pals.
All right, buddy. We're going to see you very, very soon. And,
yeah, I'm very excited.
And I'm glad to hear that it's beautiful in Montreal. We need that.
Yeah.
All right, talk soon. Now, I was talking to, look who it is. I'll have to save this. Amy Miller is here.
You did it.
Runaway Train.
You're not my friends anymore.
Why? We didn't act sad enough?
You were laughing at me.
We were laughing because you got on the wrong train.
I tuned in because I don't like being talked about.
Yeah.
I'm a youngest child. And then, sure enough, you guys are fucking laughing at me.
Well, I'm like, where are you? And then I heard the term wrong train. Now,
It's
the thing is, when you're on the wrong train, it's not like you can just turn around. You are doing
You're a
that.
prisoner.
Yes, you're a prisoner of your own and incapability of reading a train listing.
Exactly what happened. Just didn't look at it.
Yeah.
Stepped right on.
You were going from Brooklyn to where? Montauk?
She was like down in Coney Island.
Yeah.
I got on the J instead of the M from Brooklyn. And then I was like, Canal Street, that doesn't seem right. And it was just all, I get overwhelmed sometimes and then leave out some details.
I understand.
And these are some of the reasons that I will never be in the Montreal.
Now, you think because you're the youngest child, you hate being talked about.
I hate being talked about, yeah. Even if it's complimentary, like I get very anxious.
Yeah.
So I was surprised it worked down there in the tunnel. I was like, since I'm late, I'm going to see what they're saying. And then you're just laughing right away in my face.
Well, isn't that better than, God damn it, what's with her?
Yes.
Scheduled her.
I'm sorry. I also hate being in trouble, so I feel like I'm sorry.
I don't think you ever. I feel like you have such a problem with authority that I can't imagine you fearing being in trouble.
Do you think that's true?
I know it's true of me. I think it's somewhat true of Gail, and it's very true of Chris.
Yeah. This is the first I've heard you guys are authority figures.
No, but you just said I hate being in trouble. Who else would you be in trouble with?
I know. I don't want to be.
Yeah.
I want to be asked back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen now because you said, what made you think you're an authority figure? I was going to just say 30 years in this fucking business. Now, but it is true. Even as a kid, like if I had a teacher and all, I just thought, I don't have to do everything they say.
Yeah.
Well, I just couldn't.
Yeah. I have that with doctors now.
Don't like doctors.
Doctors tell me things, and then I'm just like, yeah, but come on. I don't know what it is, but
You
like,
look for loopholes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I didn't care about my women teachers, but, I didn't have a dad. So I didn't want to disappoint any male teachers.
You wanted all the male teachers to be your surrogate dads.
I didn't go above and beyond to please them because that's how this sounds now.
It is starting to sound like daddy like you.
Fucked your way to the dean's list is what you're saying.
I did go to a good college. But no, I was always really worried about disappointing people, but not women for some reason. And Gail's my friend. You're going to have me back.
Yeah. Well,
we're having dinner tonight.
Yes, we're having a dinner date.
That's all that matters.
We haven't picked yet, but we were thinking.
Remember that last place I went with you guys? It was great. Remember we all went out and had a lovely place there?
I know, we had like the best friend lunch ever.
Yeah.
Remember?
Or as Ron called it, a play date.
Yes, it was a play date. I had to watch them during a play date. Go, you guys. I got work stuff to do on my phone. And they were just running around.
That place was really good.
Yeah.
But we're going to be closer to the stand because I have a show there tonight.
So we need a place kind of in that area that would be good for dinner.
That's like $1 or $2
The
signs.
stand?
max.
Do you guys like French food?
Sure, yeah.
I have a great French place. Very affordable. Very nice.
Okay.
Couple of blocks just on the other side.
Nice glass of wine.
Yes, you have a little bit of wine. What's the keys to? I got the keys to Gramercy Park.
Oh, nice.
Right
yeah.
next to Gramercy Park. I have to think of the name of it, but I will. But great snails to start the night off. My favorite.
Love. Okay.
And I'm personally a big fan of croque monsieur, so I always get that, even though I can't say the word properly. But everything is good there.
I go with the madame because I like egg, but I know you don't like egg.
I don't.
But I do a croque madame.
Friendship.
Because I need the egg on there.
Personal information.
Always knows. So you guys are real friends, just not radio friends.
I would be like, my lady will have anything without eggs.
No, we are radio friends. I just fucked up today, okay, everybody?
Well, I mean, even if this was the last show that you do with us, it was a great one.
I remember once, this was years ago, I had a job that I was just mildly unhappy with and just kind of depressed about the whole scenario.
Was it this one?
No, it was not. And I had a meeting that I knew that I had to be there early. And I was kind of just daydreaming. And it was a situation where I had to transfer. And then that train goes very express after that. So, like, you have to make sure you make your transfer, obviously, because you will, like, screw your whole morning up. Yeah. I had this really big meeting. And it was like, you know that, like, almost like sleep paralysis? Mm-hmm. And I watched the doors open. And inside my body, I was trapped. And I heard my own voice go, no. And I let the doors close. And the second the doors closed, I went, I was like, I'm going to be fired. I was freaking out. But like, my body was like, you don't want this life. You don't want this job. Do not get off. Do not transfer right now. But it was out of body. Like, I felt my body not be able to move. And I heard my own voice confidently. No.
I wanted
this is not
to be here.
Your dream.
I want you guys to know that.
If you heard your own voice say no to you, it's fine.
I was in another place mentally. My family calls it going to Kansas. They have a name for it. I space out so much.
That's when you...
It's like a youngest kid thing. I can't. I'm sorry. It's fine. I leave tomorrow, so I'll never see you guys again anyway.
How much older are your siblings than you, though?
3 years, 5 years, and 10 years. Yeah. And then we always had stray kids, so there was more than just them around a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I was always just, no one was paying attention to me. I would just go on a little mind vacation, and sometimes I still take them.
You're a daydream Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you do that, do you fantasize about stuff, or do you? Because I'm living Secret Life of Walter Mitty 100% of the time.
Oh yes, a lot. Yeah, a lot of fantasizing, planning, and then sometimes it's just blank. I'm just meditating,
That's nice.
walking through the world.
I do something that's like magical thinking, but it's not as nice as it sounds. Where you're just like, you set up a thing where it's almost impossible. You're like, yeah, if this happens, then it'll be like this, and you start to go on a thing where you're like, and then that will happen, and then this will happen, and then you realize like 20 minutes later, you're like, yeah, I've not been in reality.
You're on the J train.
Right.
This is not a thing that existed, and I just made up all these circumstances.
Somebody says to you, ma'am, you can't smoke here, because you're just so comfortable. You're just living your life as it is.
I took my shoes off. Just like...
And my partner, well, I don't know why I said that. My boyfriend, who I
It's your
live
partner.
with.
Your lover.
My partner, my
Your
lover.
lover.
He You know, he's a multitasker. He lives like a very purposeful life.
Yeah, I
He
can
has
live
like
like
a
that.
deep sense of obligation to accomplish things every day. And he's always doing more than one thing. And sometimes I'll just like be literally staring at a wall. And he's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fucking great. You have
Yeah.
no idea where I am right now."
Right
And
now, I'm in
it
a
is
better
nice.
world. Yeah, I'm in a better world than you could imagine.
Like, I don't need entertainment or something to do all the time. I can just sit.
Yeah. Well, you know, we were in the country not too long ago, and we were just sitting. You know, you just take chairs outside, and you're sitting, and there's a breeze. And I'm like, this is the way people used to live.
I
They
love
would
it.
just be
Yeah.
like, I immediately fell into it. Like,
Mhm.
I'm like, maybe I'm going to get a place here.
I could have a rocking chair life.
Yeah.
No question. Yeah. Well, that's what we were saying. Like when I was out in the desert, like, what does it take to live here?
Right.
20 grand a year?
Yeah.
Just come out here and sit.
I'm a big fan of just sitting, like sitting with friends and just sitting there, just like being.
Yeah.
And I also like the kind of solitude that if you see a car in the distance coming your way, you just kind of reach over and grab a gun. You know what I mean?
Just in case.
Don't imagine. You're not used to seeing people out this way. This could be dangerous.
Imagine a coyote is a person.
Yes.
Take a shot. Oops, that's my neighbor.
Yeah. I was daydreaming and shot up a family next to me. Chris, how does your mind work? What's going on in your noggin? Yeah, is it just like, where do I get my next drug?
Like, where's the next drink coming from? I fantasize about, I daydream about, like, what if a disaster happened right now? I find myself
Dark
thinking
thoughts. Like your
It's
exit
dark.
plan or who you're going to save first?
Or
usually
just
not who I'm
like-
going to say, but what the fuck happens?
You're not saving it.
Like just like a tidal wave just shows up, like what happens right
yeah,
now.
or if the train, something happens on the train, or explosions, things like. I have a lot of dark thoughts.
This stuff that you should try to get out of your mind immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, move it. Move that one back.
Oh, you don't
Move another
focus
one
on
up.
it? I focus
No,
on it
I
too.
push it back.
Make a plan. Always. But, you know, it's my religious upbringing.
Now, Jen, I'm just thinking that you're probably thinking Beyonce. Beyonce.
Sometimes she says Rihanna.
When I have like a bit, like we have like the, JFL coming up, I'm just thinking of the parties and like who I'm going to see. Like I just start, I'm in the moment of that already.
So then that's kind of magical.
Bragging, everybody.
Kind of magical thinking.
Yeah,
a
that's
little bit.
magical thinking
Yeah.
because you're supposed to be doing work.
It's work.
Yeah.
She's going for work.
Networking.
I've been
Is
to
she?
the hip hop party already.
Yeah. Because all I see is some weirdo trying to give her a hickey. And I'm just like, you're not, you know what I mean? Like he doesn't want to do business with
She's
you.
like, yeah, but I just booked him, so
Yeah.
it's great.
I imagine it's fun for Jen to go to comics parties because I think I imagine you just spacing out and being like, yep, prettiest person in the room again. I did it.
Do you think that way?
No,
You don't?
there's pretty comics. There's good looking guys.
Name
and
some.
girls.
Ugh. There's a couple.
Who's the comics you'd like to meet at Montreal?
Trevor Noah.
Okay.
Mm,
Gotcha
he is
already.
pretty.
Yeah,
he
Nah,
is.
that is a
very
pretty
good-looking.
comic.
Well, we have a Gail Meets Girls. I don't know if we're going to announce it yet, but
We'll hold off on
I'm kinda-
announcing it.
okay.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one too.
that one's
I once ate right next to Trevor Noah in Brooklyn at the meatball shop. He was with a very beautiful woman,
Probably
like
his
a Brazilian
girlfriend.
model type.
Yeah.
I swear.
Trinidad and Tobago we have.
Both Trinidad and Tobago.
You got a shot. But this is why I'm telling you this. For 90 minutes, I don't think she said one word. He was just nonstop talking. He didn't ask a question. And I was like, I don't like that guy anymore.
You just thought it was just too much.
You gotta ask your girl a question from time to time. How was your day, for example? Chris, write this down.
Maybe
That was your day.
maybe any question would stump her, and he was being kind.
Right. We
by
weren't
not-
sure she spoke English, and maybe that was part of it.
Yeah.
Very beautiful, but just,
And
nonstop.
You just hear like, so then when Jon Stewart left, they came over and they said, Trevor, even though that you're from the ghettos of South Africa, would you come to America? I'm going to tell my very quick, and I've told it before, so people hate it. But we were going up to Montreal, and he was in the seat next to me across the aisle, Trevor Noah. Chris, where were you? You were in the back of the plane?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, I was in first class.
Second to last row.
Okay.
So I'm all the way up in first class, and just so I was just getting a foot massage from the stewardess. But when I was putting my table away, it was like stuck for a while, and Trevor just leans over and helps me unstuck my table, and I go like this: "I'm a fan of the Daily Show, my friend." That's a simple act of kindness.
That's a
I pay
very
it-
debonair
yeah,
move.
a pay it forward moment.
Without
That-
being asked.
No, I don't. Yeah, I even beg Chris to help me with stuff. I can't get him to get it done.
Amy Miller's in studio.
Oh my god!
Oh my God, he was just talking to you.
I was having a personal moment with you. Go ahead.
There's
Do a
paper
live
between
read.
you.
Amy's headlining Royal Comedy Theater in Minnesota Thursday,
The
August
what comedy theater?
Royal Comedy Theater.
I know that word my whole life, and I didn't hear it in him. I thought it was the Ream.
Wait, what did I thought the other thing he said was thwarp? Who
Yeah.
is thwarp?
The Royal Comedy Theater.
He's not answering.
Oh, Phil Hartman. Royal Comedy Theater in Minnesota Thursday, August 17th through Saturday, August 19th. Their new podcast, Who's Your God, is available on iTunes and Stitcher, and on Twitter, it's at Who's Your Godcast. Go to amymillercomedy.com for all of Amy's tour dates.
Any religions that you found out yet that were strange to you or appalling?
Nothing appalling, no. I mean, part of the reason we started the podcast is I've sort of come around from my upbringing and been like, I understand why people are religious now.
Right.
I can't like judge them for wanting community and something bigger than themselves. And so we interview people of every religion, but it's also LA. It's some LA comics. So there's a lot of like, I just like Julian McCullough got his chakra cleared over the phone.
Yeah,
Like
over the
$100
phone.
an hour. And you know, it's like everybody's still kind of searching, even like the most atheisty people in comics you would assume just are floating around believing nothing. Like they're all still kind of looking for something, which I find interesting. And I do the podcast with two guys who used to be pastors, are now
Really?
comics. Yeah, and then I grew up really religious, and I used to be, you know, very anti, and I've kind of swung back around, and now I'm sort of like, I understand. I'm not going to criticize people who go to church and need that. You know, who am I to say what's wrong or right? And I think most people that go to any church are not doing it because they hate gay people and they hate women or whatever. I think they're just looking for community, which is a reason a lot of us do comedy to begin with.
Yeah, I like a community of people who don't like gays and think they're going to burn. So
That is fun.
church is perfect
Well, it's
for
nice.
me.
Same-minded
Yeah.
people. It's
Yes,
good to be-
same-minded. And we love women in their place.
In the kitchen.
The kitchen.
And on their knees.
Yes.
And
Praying.
making sure they have doilies on their heads.
My
and
thing,
stuff.
though, is I want my woman to be a cook in the bedroom and a slut in the kitchen. And that's...
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Your bed must be a mess.
It is, quite frankly. There's pieces
many
of cake.
crumbs.
I'd go to the kitchen, but it's so slutty in there.
Yeah, it's very boring.
Hot and greasy.
But I think it just gives us a chance to be away from the crowd. But it is odd that most religions have a problem with gays.
A lot of
They're
them
coming
do.
around now.
In the texts.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
but,
text is where it started.
Right. But I think most people who go to Christian and other churches don't believe that, like, the whatever text they're using
It's
is
great that you don't
flawless.
have to. Yeah. Well, the two things that they were against were always gays and jerking off. And I think that there was only so many people on the planet, and they just wanted guys to just please focus on having some babies. with these
Right,
women.
right.
Focus on having some babies. And the guys, every time they turn around, some guy's jerking off. They're like, there's only 80 of us left in this tribe.
Jerking each other off.
Yeah, they're jerking each other off. And
Yeah.
I mean,
you know.
making babies is really important to religion. It's
Yes,
just feeding.
you got to spread it.
Yeah.
You got to make more Christians for everybody.
Yep.
Chris, you weren't raised religious at all, right?
Slightly Catholic. My parents were Catholic. My grandmother was Catholic.
Did
but,
she take you to church with her?
Very early on. Didn't last past all I was 6 or 7 years old.
Do you believe anything now?
I guess agnostic. I don't not really know.
That sounds like
You have a
agnostic.
hard time even believing in agnostic.
Yeah.
Seem
What is
more
your
like
one
a-
belief? You have a moral compass that you live by.
Yeah, I guess you shouldn't hurt people physically. I guess
Just
Emotionally?
physically?
And why would you?
Oh my god, that was terrifying.
Yeah. And then the
So
fact
get
that
in
you
their
throw in, I
heads.
guess, rather than
But motherfuck with their emotions.
what about is your real thing that you live by?
don't hurt other people.
Why are you
physically.
saying it like a question?
It seems like if it's a strong conviction,
You know
you'd
what
say
he's
it with a
trying to
period
do?
at the end.
How do I get these people to? Because you're a little nervous right now. You don't want to be asked these questions. There's a lot of people get that way.
Well, I'm usually not asked these questions.
Why?
Right.
I don't know.
It's
That's why we
really
need this podcast.
Exactly.
Right.
It's a very private, and I've interviewed comics I've known for years, and I had never, we've just never talked about it. It's really, we always start with like, if you were going to start your own church tomorrow, like the Church of Ron, like
Yes.
what would be 3 main tenets or practices?
I love that thought because again, everyone just feels like, and quite frankly, that's even almost a political question as well as the spiritual one.
Yeah, they can't be separated at this
yes.
point. Yeah.
But I don't know whether they ever could.
Yeah.
And you do this out in LA?
Mm-hmm. In my apartment.
I brought this up before. This would be, if it was up to me, the only thing I would ever talk about.
Yeah.
There would be nothing else. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? And the fact that we don't know how long we've been here, what we are doing here, or where we are going.
Yeah.
As a species is fascinating to me.
Yeah. And that people in the quest to do that have like formed little tribes to figure it out. Like, that's pretty crazy.
I think comedy is a tribe a lot of the time. People stick with it longer than they might because they have that community. And specifically for comics, like the thing we're doing is already so crazy that every morning I wake up, I'm like, why am I? Like, this is fucked up. And then to think about the bigger questions on top of it, it's really interesting.
But when it comes to comedy, sometimes you feel you have a calling, just like a religious person.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is a calling. You certainly wouldn't be doing it for the rewards that you've gotten so far, even though there are some real high places, But can you imagine being a preacher and you only get to do an hour a week? And it's in the afternoon. They're like, fuck.
But you headline every time.
Yeah, you close. There's no doubt about it.
And you make a lot of money.
Well, no one knows. That's the fun part of it. No one knows how much money they have.
I mean, I've seen some preachers' cars and houses.
Yeah.
And they're doing, a lot of them are doing okay.
Yeah.
Especially like mega church pastors. I mean, it's a good job.
Yeah, it is.
My 2 co-hosts partially did it for them. They were like, well, one of them is, his dad's is a preacher, and he was like, well, it's a good career. What else am I going to do? I live in the South.
Let's face it. It is public speaking. It is sales. It's fun besides being, and it's also fun to have a spiritual connection with somebody to be going like, oh, you're having a crisis. Let me help you. If that works out, that's got to be pretty rewarding.
And exactly. There is a carny nature to it, but I think that a good deal of them believe that they are doing right when they're, that their purpose in the community is very important.
Because it is fun to like say common sense to people and see them going, what? Really?
Yeah.
I could do. You mean if I stop stealing, my life could work out? And you're like, yes, I want you to try that. I want you to try not to steal.
And the community itself is so uplifting. I mean, that's one of the main things I miss is we're like singing with a congregation.
Yeah.
I mean, that's drugs. Like that is a high, like, beyond going to a concert.
Yeah.
That a lot of people never get to experience unless they go to church.
It's amazing to me, and this is a spiritual group at the core of it, though the people don't think that way, that there is a place that I could go anywhere in this country or this world and be accepted immediately, and that's the program that people just go, come on in.
Yeah.
And it's basically
That's
like, hey,
very
brother, you're
church-like,
with us. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you can say horrible things, and people will go like, okay, let's try to turn that around, not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
It is.
Every sometimes I'll hear people and I'll just hit 911 and I go, should I hit send? I don't hit send. I'll always ask people next to them, should I call them right now?
Sounds like he did bad.
Amy Miller's in studio. Her new podcast, Who's Your God, is available on iTunes and Stitcher, and on Twitter it's at Who's Your Godcast. Go to amymiller.com for all of her dates. She's headlining Royal Comedy Theater in Minnesota Thursday, August 17th through Saturday, August 19th.
AmyMillerComedy.com. Don't go to AmyMiller.com. It's a porn star.
Amy Miller Comedy.
Chris is telling us we're number one.
We have 1 minute left.
Do you know about the train though, right?
I understand. I know.
Do
I'm
you?
sorry.
What time are you guys going out tonight?
We don't have a time, but a little later.
I hope it's still happening after
Yes.
this whole train debacle.
Here's
good.
the spot. This is very old school New York as well. So you're going to feel like you can, like with your fantasy life, you can pretend that you're meeting your editor in 1983 when you go there.
I love it. I will pretend that.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to wear a bow tie.
Yeah. And you would just be like, well, we're looking over the story right now. It's going to be that was the last time that people have had put out a novel that was controversial. It just doesn't even happen anymore.
Yeah, it's been a while.
But like when Bright Lights, Big City came out, or Less Than Zero, that whole time, like books were like causing a ruckus in the city.
It's only a ruckus now if you plagiarize.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or make up the story.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Fake news.
Yes, exactly.
I really appreciate you guys having me back so soon. And
Yes.
I just fucked it up.
That's okay. Can
We'll
I tell you
make it
something?
right with snails.
Twice in 1 week.
You gave me the biggest laugh of the day. You got on the
I heard it.
it.
That's what hurt about it. It came from your gut.
You were immediately angry. By the way, I disagree with you. I love to turn on the show. Like, no, I get the anxiety of like, hey, they're talking about me. But then what always happens is they'll move on, and I'm like, really? That's it? I mean, I do a lot of other funny things. Why don't you stay on it a little bit?
Sometimes it is very comforting.
Yeah.
Gail mentions me on her podcast, and I feel supported by funny, nice people, and then I keep going another day.
That's good. All right. That's it for us. We'll be in Montreal, but you can follow along on the iBang, on the Bennington social media. I'll see you again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!